Everyone loves an unexpected plot twist, but your education shouldn't be one of them. And nobody understands that better than Southern New Hampshire University. SNHU's online degree programs provide the flexibility you need, backed by support you can count on. With over 200 affordable options in psychology, criminal justice, business, and more, SNHU is built to fit your life and your budget. Visit snhu.edu/lastpodcast to learn more. That's snhu.edu/lastpodcast.
Courage. I learned it from my adoptive mom. Hold my hand.
You hold my hand.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care at adoptuskids.org. You can't imagine the reward. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
There's no place to escape to.
This is the last podcast.
On the left. That's when the cannibalism started.
What was that?
I just get to be my clothes stuff. I don't need to fucking look at anything.
No, you don't. You just be you, man.
Just be me, man.
Be you, bro. That's what everything, I think that's what every series we've ever done, that's really what's ever been about.
Is this be you, bro?
Be you, bro.
Be you, dude. Because guess what, man? Guess what the other guy gets to do?
What?
Be them.
Oh.
Can't be you.
Oh.
The only person going to be you is you, except for me. I'm many.
You're an actor.
I'm an actor. There is
a
no
man
center.
of many voices that all sound Jamaican at some point.
At some point, only because, as we now know, as I have discovered, which one day linguistic experts will say, they will understand that the base of every single speaking accent is Jamaican.
Fantastic. There we go.
And are you many or are you truly none?
I'm truly none.
Yes, you're truly a pitcher waiting to be filled with another personality.
I am zero, right? Today, technically, I'm Chuck Dederich. Right? So, again, Henry's gone.
Yeah.
Right? That's why
Yes.
I'm impervious to any form of crime or being accused of a crime. Because anytime you put that on me, I'll be like, who are you talking about?
Yeah.
That was Mr. Benchipant, right?
Mr.
Who is a
Benchimant.
magical haberdasher who happened to maybe not fill out all the forms for his taxes that he should have been. But that's him. That was that guy doing it, not me.
Yes. And when you get to prison, of course, you'll be the sexiest little mushroom boy around. Welcome to Last Podcast on the Left, everyone. We are on to the troubled teen industry part 2, specifically focusing on Synanon.
Synanon.
Before there was QAnon, there was Synanon.
Now, as we said last episode, the troubled teen industry certainly had spiritual precedents in America, such as the American Indian boarding schools that operated until the late 1960s. But when it comes to direct inspiration, no organization was more influential than Synanon.
And can you believe it was created by a 300-pound bag of gnocchi with half a missing face, who somehow, like, while being a true villain of American history, is also one of the funniest guys you'll ever meet.
Well, that's good. I'm happy he's fat and funny, because fat and disgruntled, Michael Moore, Rob Reiner, it's a bad look. Rob Reiner be like, no one should smoke. I was just watching the South Park episode where they made fun of Rob Reiner, so basically I'll just copy and paste that episode into a written statement.
Really good, really good.
See, while the physical tortures inflicted on teenagers, like spankings, solitary confinements, and beatings, they could be thought up by any regular old Joe.
No, man, I spanked myself today.
Yeah.
I know you did. I've seen the Tushy footage. The thing about solitary, the thing about really suffering with torture, you can't flip it and reverse it.
Yeah.
The spanking, you can get hard.
That's
The
again.
spanking, you can really be like, one more, daddy.
Yeah,
And then
absorb.
they'll be like, oh, let's not do it. But solitary, you really can't pretend to like it.
I love this. I love being alone. That only can last for so long.
Well, they can just leave the room.
Yep.
And then you're just screaming at yourself.
Yeah, and guess what? Once you're alone with yourself, I should know very well, everything stops being entertaining.
Well, while any regular old Joe can do physical torture, the psychological techniques used to pound these teens into square pegs, they were adapted from a complicated method of attack therapy created by Synanon called the game.
I've seen some YouTube footage, and Steven Seagal also does attack therapy.
He does, but all he has to do is this tiny little, like, his little flipper baby arms, and then he can always defend himself on that. But today's episode is really kind of, again, the origins of what we just kind of touched on in the first episode, and kind of where it all led. Because this is, again, it's not a Synanon series, it's a troubled teen industry series.
Right.
But then Synanon, there's lots to unpack here.
Yeah.
There was a
Wow.
10-episode podcast just about Synanon done by Robert Downey Jr.
Is that right?
When you say by Robert Downey Jr., what do you mean by?
He was in an office at the same time when people under his name made a podcast about it.
Gotcha. So he showed up? Are you sure he showed up?
I'm certain that he was told at some point that he was doing that, but then when it came down to it, he's still begging to be Tony Stark again.
I would believe Robert Downey Jr. He grew up troubled teen industry that is Hollyweird.
Yep.
He was addicted to drugs. His father had him doing cocaine at like 12. So I actually think he might be a proper voice in this. Now he's totally sober and his wife saved his life.
Yep,
my
that's
God.
what. Yeah,
I
now-
actually like Robert Downey Jr.
I
Yeah,
do
so
too.
do I.
He,
So do
that
I.
Letterman interview he did was actually very interesting.
Powerful.
Well, unfortunately, the people who founded and ran these troubled teen programs that took inspiration from Synanon, they were mostly sociopaths. Ergo, they simplified Synanon's game to such a degree that this well-meaning method for kicking addiction became the worst psychological torture of all.
That's what's fun about an effective tool is that it's a shovel, right? You can dig a trench, right? But it can be used to feed children. You can
Yes.
fill it with slop and so children will eat it. And then you
Or
can
maybe
also then-
water. Maybe water.
Sure, whatever. Yeah,
tunnel
But
of
then,
water.
Yeah.
at the same time, that same trench, you can then push the kids into the slop. Now it's a grave.
Great.
But before we get into exactly...
Very good, right?
It's very
A
good. I
gravy
love it.
grave.
I love it.
Yes.
Yeah, it's like either get from slop bucket to grave.
Yep.
Yeah, it's
That's
that
it.
simple.
All it takes is here you go. All it
There
takes is
you go.
one little push.
It's amazing. You can make any hole a grave if you just
push somebody into it, yeah.
Yeah.
But before we get into exactly what the game was, let's talk about who created the game and where it was practiced. That was a drug rehab turned cult called Synanon. For this episode, our main source is The Rise and Fall of Synanon by Rod Jansen. While some argue that it's too soft on Synanon, it seems to be the most fair and balanced history of this fascinating organization right up to their dissolution following a bungled and bizarre attempted murder.
And if you do want even more information, there's a lot of it out there. Obviously, it brought up that podcast, but also there is the website, paulmorantz.com, that comes from the perspective of a person that very distinctly has a bone to pick with Synanon, and you'll see why as we get through this episode. But his is really him. He's like, the rise and fall of Synanon doesn't understand the degrees of violence that we all suffered, but we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, it really is a perfect crop to pick from when it comes to Synanon, former drug addicts or people dealing with drug addiction.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they're looking for help, and then obviously they're going to be in massive peril when they go through withdrawals and stuff.
Yeah, it's like, and now we get to experiment on you. We took you at your
Yeah.
most babyish form when you were literally
Yeah.
dying, like you were super sick from, and then we like took that dismantled personality of someone getting over drugs, and now we're going to rebuild you in our way, which is a yellow screaming, a yelling, screaming soldier for a man with half a face.
That's why I'm going to start a new company, ice cream for diabetics. They need it to live.
There is that.
Oh,
Well, concerning that attempted murder, we also used an article about Synanon published in 2018 in Los Angeles Magazine by Hillel Aaron, which nicely covers the incident that led to the downfall of the largest cult you've never heard of. Synanon was originally established as a sincere drug rehabilitation program in the 1950s that became a full-fledged cult by 1975.
what were the drugs in the 1950s? Whizzers, zappers, poppers, poopers.
Man,
Heroin!
Heroin.
So much heroin.
But
Oh,
also,
I see.
I'd love to find out, because it seems like the heroin there was like real good
Yeah.
in the 50s.
Really? I mean,
Yeah.
it's Charlie Parker heroin. It's good shit.
Wow. Okay. CIA heroin.
Yeah.
Yep.
Mm,
Well, no, but they didn't. Well,
no. Actually, I would say later heroin is more CIA heroin.
Oh,
yeah, that's when they started, and then, they invented crack, which must have been a fun afternoon. And then, like, that's a whole other episode. That
This
we'll
is
do.
like mobster heroin.
Okay.
Yeah. Now, billed as a community striving for a creative and effective approach to drug rehabilitation, Synanon was not the first drug rehab center, but it was among the first to be taken seriously. See, prior to the 50s, people with drug addiction problems with substances like heroin, they were either thrown in jail or mental institutions without even an attempt at treatment, because the word treatment concerning addiction wasn't even in the lexicon. Usually, the addicts caught in this cycle would shuttle in and out of these institutions until they died from their addiction or diseases of poverty, while the general public sort of just shrugged and said, what are you gonna do?
Well, because again, it was a problem that was kind of like new in a way, even though it wasn't.
No.
It was an interesting way to kind of like we're looking at it for the first time. We're really now as a society all like kind of seeing like, hey, it seems like a lot of people like heroin.
Well, I mean, I think they missed a massive opportunity to give him a guitar, give him one of those little drums with the sticks that have like the little things on.
Oh, you're talking again, jazz. Because it was important about jazz is that
Talking about brush sticks.
Yeah.
Brush sticks. It's about the notes you don't play.
Yeah, it should really, jazz drumming should make all the hair on your neck stand up.
Yeah. But once Synanon became popular, and once people saw that it got results, people began to believe that addicts didn't have to die in streets like dogs.
Wow.
What?
On the contrary, they could be rehabilitated and live normal lives under the right circumstances. And Synanon provided the framework for those circumstances by inventing a culture of recovery. Specifically, Synanon pioneered the idea of the ex-addict turned drug counselor.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And as a result, graduates of the Synanon program, ex-addicts all, opened their own successful treatment centers in San Francisco, Tucson, Manhattan, and Queens.
I just really hope they don't try this same thing with pedophiles.
You know, the
because
only
that's going
thing-
to lead to a lot of horrible.
Unless you could teach the pedophiles to be attracted to other pedophiles, right? Like you get a super sexy pedophile in there
Right.
amongst the
Okay.
other
Oh,
pedophiles.
yeah, all those
right? Listen,
supers. I've seen Chris Hansen. They're always super sexy when they come through the door.
every once in a while, there's like a kind of like a R. Kelly. Technically, he's a handsome pedophile,
Sure.
right?
Technically. Okay,
and
sure.
so you get him in there, right? He gets them all lathered up and shit. Maybe then they can also fall in love with each other. Be like, just imagine I have a big lollipop. Imagine I'm much smaller.
Right.
Right?
I feel like you're really onto something.
Yeah, so your idea is to treat pedophiles with the magic of imagination?
Yes.
Wow.
You mean the
What-
power of theater, which is why when I do my all pedophile Titus Andronicus, all of the LA's fine art community will arrive to see my work.
Just one lonely person clapping in the back, and that indeed is Rob Reiner.
Well, Synanon was actually founded right here in the greater Los Angeles area, out in Santa Monica, by a man named Chuck Dederich, who actually coined the phrase,
Today is the first day of the rest of your life.
Wow, you never realized that someone had to say that first.
yeah, that was a Synanon phrase.
Wow.
Yeah, so what's tomorrow?
The second day of the rest of your fucking life, you moron.
Whatever, dude.
It's the second day of your life.
Second day's first loser.
But if you...
We're not playing Mario Kart.
Well, Chuck Dederich was a golf...
Doesn't even make sense.
Second day's first loser, man.
Yeah, you nailed it.
Whatever, Doc.
Really good.
Well, Chuck Dederich was a Gulf Oil Sales executive from Toledo, Ohio, who was a self-admitted alcoholic for 20 years. His drinking problem was blamed on a bout of meningitis that required a mastoidectomy that caved in the right side of his face.
Let's just say I got phantom cheek syndrome. What the problem is every time I try to drink, I just imagine, oh, I got an extra cheek I gotta fill. Well, turns out it's not there, so now I'm drinking double.
Whoa. Was part of his brain gone
No,
then?
part of his skull.
Just part of his skull.
Yeah, I think a mastoidectomy, I looked it up, like I think they just kind of pull out part of your skull.
It's all
because
infected.
Meningitis, yeah, they just kind of scoop it out. And because they scoop it out, like half of your face is flat because it doesn't have any
How
bone.
did he get
Didn't
meningitis? Was he sucking toes or something? What
He
happened?
got it as a kid. He got it as a kid. Abraham
it was
Lincoln.
a whole thing.
Didn't he have that?
Meningitis?
A mastectomy?
No, he was just in the closet.
Face. No. He sucked dick, but he only did it with the half of his face that fucking worked. There was something that
He had a
did.
full functioning face until
Where-
it was shot off.
No, he had a thing. He was diagnosed with a facial defect.
That's just people being rude in the 1800s.
He's an aberration called cranial facial microsomia.
That's just what they called people who they thought were ugly back then.
Yeah.
He just has skeleton head.
Yes.
By the early 1950s, Chuck Dederich was just a regular schlub in Toledo with a divorce under his belt. So he moved to Southern California to gain some perspective, and he brought his drinking problem with him.
I'll tell you what, the divorce certainly was under my belt because she certainly was fucking me in my ass.
There you go. I understand financially, perhaps.
Well, by 1956, when Chuck was 43 years old, his second wife left him because of his continued drinking.
Man, he could still pull.
Yeah.
And he looked like
Yeah,
he
but
looks like a fucking Captain Planet villain.
But it was back in the day where if you even look at someone for like 15 seconds, you're like, well, we better make this official.
Yes.
And then you go get married.
Well, after she left him, she suggested on her way out the door that he might try Alcoholics Anonymous if he ever wanted to get his shit together.
Okay.
He's 43 before Synanon even begins.
That shows life doesn't end at 40.
That's right.
No, it doesn't.
And sure enough, once Chuck started attending AA meetings in Beverly Hills, he fell in love with the AA process, partly because he could use the meetings as an open mic to tell stories, which were, by all accounts, quite entertaining.
Straight up
better have been.
he stand-up comedied his way into being a cult leader because once he started going to AA, because, you do testimonies in AA. We don't know because I am not a quitter. But you don't go and you talk about what your experience was, and he'd go up there and he'd Chappelle it.
Yeah.
He'd take the mic for fucking 45 minutes when everyone's waiting, but he's crushing so hard and he's running the light. No one wants to stop. And he keeps slapping the mic with his knee every time he laughs.
That's Chappelle. That's his copyright move.
Yeah.
Well, after 2 years in AA, Dederich decided to participate in an experiment at UCLA that wanted to test the effectiveness of LSD on alcoholics. And this may or may not have been one of the lighter MK Ultra experiments, but, not every LSD experiment done at a university in the late 50s was funded by the CIA. Just most of them were funded by the CIA. The vast majority, 99% of them were funded by the CIA.
I definitely think it falls into the realm of coincidence of the fact that it's another person that is in this counterculture world that was touched by some form of, what did we learn about MK Ultra? The ultimate, the best part about them is that, you don't even know you're MK Ultra until fucking years later. You didn't know until the fucking 80s that you were MK Ultra because you just were getting, that shadow money. So, it apparently it had a lot of, long-reaching,
consequences.
Absolutely. What about sobriety?
Positive and negative.
Doesn't taking a bunch of acid inhibit your sobriety?
No.
Well,
that's what
no,
Chuck
it
Dederich
doesn't.
said.
We'll talk about this because then, how much.
Seems like he's not sober if he takes a bunch of acid.
Technically, you're Cali sober if you do everything but alcohol.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's the thing. He's staying off of alcohol.
But I thought AA was also
that's what this
wide.
That's what we're getting into. Yeah. I mean, Dederich said that the experience was highly beneficial, made him look at his alcoholism in an entirely new way.
Yeah, actually, my alcoholism is a tetrahedron inside this crystal that is my soul. And the only thing I need to do is understand me, understand pizza, and I will defeat my own alcoholism.
But it rubbed the Alcoholics Anonymous leadership the wrong way because they believed that the only things you needed to not drink alcohol was coffee, cigarettes, and a higher power.
Also very bad for you.
Yeah.
Cigarettes probably the worst of all.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes something's got to give.
Yeah.
Again, we said for last episode, let the kids vape.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this belief had actually never sat all that well with Chuck Dederich in the first place. He'd never been comfortable with AA's religious focus because he believed that it was important for addicts to develop self-reliance. Mm-hmm. He did, however, believe that the group therapy and community aspects of AA were key.
Mm-hmm. You're never going to find Helena Bonham Carter when you go to these meetings.
What?
Fight Club.
It's
all men that are overweight
you can still,
and chain smoking.
In AA, I believe you're not supposed to have sex with the other people that are in your chapter. I believe that is against it. You're not supposed to date.
Yeah, you're not supposed to, but I mean, that's your friend group. That's
I don't know.
Your old. What else are you going to do?
I don't know.
The bar now.
I feel like there's a lot of sexy, challenged people in these groups. You never know.
Maybe. It might be. Who knows? So, after the AA leadership insisted that he find treatment elsewhere because of his LSD use, Chuck decided to start his own version of addiction treatment that would fall in line with his own beliefs.
That's confidence.
So AA is the reason Synanon exists.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's because it's his reaction to it. And because he also was an atheist and he did not believe in the higher power aspect of it. He wanted to find a secular way to do it. But it is interesting to see that he just loved being on mic so much that he was just like, I need to do this for a living. I need to call Big J. I need to get in the mix in the Austin scene.
Absolutely.
But once he began tapering off from AA meetings, other recovering alcoholics would check up on him because they liked him. It's pretty much his fans were like, Hey, bro, you're never coming to AA meetings anymore.
You fucking crushed it in the meeting, dude. Where are you, man?
Wow.
Fucking sucks without you there.
Wow.
And those checkups, they evolved into impromptu meetings. And those impromptu meetings evolved further into thrice weekly meetings in Dederic's apartment.
He is correct in the fact that the cult arrived to him at first.
Yeah.
Before it became a cult. The group just showed up.
Wow.
Yeah.
So this is really, he's like, I didn't ask you to come here. You all just showed up.
Yeah.
I guess I'm a cult leader now?
I think he did a little bit of like, yeah, I've heard those meetings are boring without me. Like he did a couple of that being like, he knew. And then he started like, hitting him with the charm, hitting him with the sparkle.
Mhm.
Okay.
What changed everything, though, was when a heroin addict named Whitey Walker joined the group just after he was released from prison. Now, the group therapy sessions led by Dederich were always a little more aggressive than what they had in AA, because that's how Dederich liked it. But Whitey Walker introduced a new dynamic. Soon, Whitey was bringing other addicts that Dederich non-pejoratively referred to as dope fiends.
Mm-hmm.
And the more dope fiends that showed up, the coarser the language got and the more aggressive the sessions became.
Dederich is of the Tony Robbins school, that cursing and like saying like super hyper confrontational things like helps engage street people, like
Yes.
people like, and makes you feel more real or like grounded, like this idea that I'm a real guy. I'm just a
Don't
normal guy.
demean the great name of Tony Robbins. He's 6'7" and above, so I must support him.
He has there's a lot of issues around Tony Robbins right now, but it's his style was this is kind of where it came from. Was because Dederich thought it was like, I'm yelling at these guys, and he's calling them dope fiends in a way of like, it's kind of like a light roasting because it's about us taking the word back.
Whitey Walker definitely should have been doing cocaine.
Oh, yeah.
The name like Whitey Walker. That guy, all white suit, pimped out, full of beautiful, pure, uncut Colombian cocaine.
It'd be cool if you find out you think he's a coke dealer, but it just turns out he just sells milk.
2%, huh?
But the thing is that Dederich, with these super abrasive meetings, very aggressive, he was getting results in a way that AA wasn't getting results. And he's getting results with fucking heroin addicts.
Wow.
So when the gatherings got too big for Dederic's apartment, he went for broke and leased a storefront in Santa Monica. He invited 20 alcoholics and so-called dope fiends to come live there in what was effectively an early version of a rehab facility.
Hold on a second. We had a hard time getting a fucking lease in New York because we have a podcast studio. Yep. How the hell did the landlord be like, so 20 dope fiends, former alcoholics, come right in?
Actually incredible. I have a couple of couches I want to give you guys, but I need them back. I'm just lending them to you. No, it was a different time period.
Yeah.
Remember,
they didn't like it. They fucking hate, like, he didn't tell them, hey, we're going to be moving a bunch of heroin addicts and alcoholics into this place. And then once they figured out what was going on, the entire neighborhood was get the fuck out of here.
Okay.
It was the first of many confrontations that Chuck Dederich would have with his neighbors. He does not get along well with others.
Much as people feel of influencers now.
I mean, technically, I don't want to illustrate where we're at, but there is an influencer house down the street, and it is pretty funny to pull up and watch like two guys doing weird like Muay Thai karate on like a dummy out front while another guy shoots them, and a girl's twerking next to them, and then you kind of wonder like, are y'all paying for these? Are you paying for anything, or is this is Robert Downey Jr. paying for this too?
I think they're making that money on the ticket.
As far as what Chuck wanted to call his new venture, the origins of the name are debated. Some say that it's a combination of the words symposium and seminar, while others think it's a play on the words sinners, synthesize, or synagogue. But no matter the origin, what came out the other end was Synanon.
Well, again, great name.
Yeah.
3 syllables. There's something about it keeping it, and it sounds like it's connected to recovery because you have stuff like, Alcoholics Anonymous, there's Al-Anon, there's Narcanon, like all those things that are a part of it. It sounds like I think Narcanon is technically Scientology.
No, is it?
I think
I don't think Narcanon's Scientology.
And then we'll get it.
I know someone who does Narcanon meetings, and I don't think they don't seem like the type who will go to a Scientology.
They don't say that there's one of those that they don't say that it is.
I was trying to figure out what the term anon means, and evidently it means
anonymous.
It means shortly. It says, I'll see you anon, which I guess means soon or shortly.
Literally, yes, that's Shakespeare.
Yeah, that's, I shall see you anon.
Yeah.
But in this case, it's anonymous.
Anonymous, yeah.
Yeah, it is on Scientology.org. They have Narcanon right at the very top.
Wow. Great.
Yep, wow.
Good.
Okay.
Perfect. Good to know.
Yeah.
That's how they get you.
You just never know.
You never know.
I mean, at least this is on the website. A lot of guys looking at pamphlets on this website, so there's a lot of interest building.
No. Now, Dederich believed that addiction was not so much an illness that could be cured as it was a behavioral problem that was caused by underlying social and psychological issues, which ain't a bad guess.
It's not.
It's a bit of both, isn't it?
But it is worth noting that Dederich was a salesman before he founded
And I'll
Synanon.
tell you, I can sell. You know the thing I can sell? I can sell a ketchup popsicle to a bitch that likes mustard.
Yeah, absolutely. I knew you were going to steal that line from Tommy Boy, and I called you on it. Your father was such a good salesman, he could sell a ketchup popsicle to a woman in
wearing
white gloves.
gloves.
Ketchup popsicle? We're 40. Marcus, you'll be 40 next week.
I will be. I'll be 40 a week from today.
Welcome to the
You know
club.
what? I tell you what, we're only getting younger. And we're getting more fresh, and we're getting more available to the young.
The culture's getting younger and older at the same time. So we're evening out.
We're evening out.
I'm right in the middle. I'm where I should be.
Yeah, right.
We don't have any choice.
No, it's not up to us.
Well, Dederich had no more experience in treatment care than the people who founded Straight Inc. or WASP. But to place Dederich apart, he was rarely sadistic and could be said in at least the first 10 years to have been quite caring.
He seemed like a fun guy for a while.
For a while, yeah. And he was sadistic sometimes.
Oh, he got to there. He got extremely violent.
Yeah, definitely.
honest-
Well, I wouldn't say extremely violent. When we're talking about cults,
Well, after Anthill Kids, nothing can be called violent
or
again.
Jonestown.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah. But that was just the one big one.
I mean, I remember, like, sometimes you want to smack your friend who's just hungover because they're annoying.
Yeah.
So it must truly be difficult to deal with a bunch of people who are going through withdrawal. Like, sometimes you just be like, Tommy, your shit belongs in the toilet, not on your face. And so at some point, you do have to kind of get upset.
Wow, that's the thing. You're about to have your mind fucking blown here. Well, similar to other cult leaders with initial good intentions like Jim Jones, Chuck's ego eventually got out of hand. And while it never got to Jonestown levels, Chuck and Jim's paths would cross just before the shit hit the fan in Guyana.
Think about this. This shit's happening in SoCal. There is a lot of the same guys. Elron's in town. Fucking Jim Jones is in town. These people
Jim Parsons?
These guys are all there, dude. It's just wild to think that like all of this shit was happening. Like Charles Manson.
Yeah.
All this shit was happening at the same time.
Yeah, and this guy, Chuck Dederich.
Rise from your grave.
Tight deadlines can leave us feeling less than jolly, especially when you're coming back relaxed from a holiday break or not. Grammarly's communication assistants can help you get your work done confidently and productively so you can have more time for what you love, building your killdozer. Say goodbye to simple mistakes on important emails and documents. The free version of Grammarly offers instant proofreading with comprehensive spelling, grammar, and punctuation suggestions. Plus, by using cues from your writing, it analyzes how your message is coming across. Yep, Grammarly helps detect the tone of your writing for free. Grammarly Premium's clarity-focused sentence rewrites help keep your writing clear and to the point to keep your workflow productive and completed on time. You deserve a break from the grind. Get there confidently with Grammarly Premium. Go to Grammarly.com/podcast to sign up for an account and download. And when you're ready to upgrade to Grammarly Premium, get 20% off. That's 20% off at GRAMMARLY.com/PODCAST. This podcast is brought to you by Squarespace. Squarespace is an all-in-one website platform that helps you stand out online. Yes, that's right. You don't have to smash your face with a hammer. You can just start a business. It's got everything you need on Squarespace, from securing your domain to building a professional site and showcasing your work all in one place. Let's say you want to show everybody how you can carve your ribs out of your lower abdomen so that you look more like a Ken doll. That's amazing. You can bring your vision to life with AI-powered design or curated templates, plus flexible editing tools that helps you create something that truly reflects your style, especially if you are somebody that is trying to corrupt the young men of America. That's what Squarespace is really going to help you. Squarespace makes it easy. It makes it easy for you to put all that together, and you just go to Squarespace and do it all. Thanks, Braden. Head to squarespace.com/left for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use offer code LEFT to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Summer means freedom. And for adults, summer means work next to freedom. But thanks to Mint Mobile's summer sale, it could almost feel like the work is playtime for the adults. Right now, all of Mint's plans are $15 per month, even unlimited. Free yourself from Big Wireless and switch to Mint Mobile for high-speed data and coverage on the T-Mobile 5G network. It's so well connected, I could call from anywhere, deep from well within my bunker, where my AI-fueled robots slowly but surely toil for me, but I know for a fact I'm saving money on my phone plan. Or up above, where I'm training all of my giant Amazon female warriors who will fight in bulletproof mesh. Also, honestly, Mint Mobile's really cheap and it's really reliable, so you should use it. To get your new wireless plan for just $15 a month, go to mintmobile.com/LPOTL. That's mintmobile.com/LPOTL. Cut your wireless bill to $15 a month at mintmobile.com/LPOTL. That's it. There's no catch. Upfront payment of $45 per 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12 months. Plan required, $15 per month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra. Initial plan term only. Greater than 50 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. Includes up to 20 gigabyte hotspot. Capable device required. Availability, speed, and coverage varies. See mintmobile.com.
Hey there, all you Quinceaholics. Oh, I feel so good. I got the breeze coming through my linen pants and my linen shirt. Oh, it's too hot for my cashmere sweater. Thank God I got this wonderful undershirt and sunglasses to keep my eyeballs safe from the radiation of a star that's trying to kill all of us. I digress. Listen. Quince has got anything you need. They're going to help you out. They're going to change your life. You like simple, plain, good-looking clothes with high-quality fabrics? Quince your hiney. Get in there. Take care of yourself. Be good to you and dress like a prince when you're wearing your Quince. I got a silver chain. Woo! Doctor, I got a silver chain. It looks great. You can get anything you want. They have gold bars. All right, you want to buy a gold bar? Quint's got a gold bar. All right, you go get that for yourself. You treat yourself nice and you dress even better. Upgrade your everyday. Go to quince.com/last for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada and the UK too. That's QUINCE.com/last for free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/last.
Now, Synanon became truly innovative starting in 1959 with the introduction of the cop-out method, which was later used extensively and wrongly in the troubled teen schools. See, a lot of addicts at Synanon were admitting that they were still using drugs, and they knew that other people were still using drugs, but they were keeping it all to themselves because their brains were hardwired against snitching.
It's the number one criminal crime.
Yeah.
Is to snitch.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, and you learned it's omerta.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You don't fucking tell everybody's business because you never know who's a fucking cop.
Absolutely.
But Dederich convinced everyone in Synanon that snitching on yourself and others was not only preferable, but essential to the recovery process to snitch. Honesty, he said, bound you to the community, and that concept became central to Synanon's most well-known and influential method. See, after several open-ended discussions in which people snitched on each other's drug use, the group began digging deeper at what else everyone was keeping secret. And people started getting very honest about everything.
People stop being fake and start getting real.
Well, that's what they wanted.
On real world health.
That is kind of where all that came from. I do believe that this is the true inspiration for all of that style of shit of like we would get into like.
I mean, the only thing missing is cameras and Dr. Drew.
Yeah.
But this inspired what came to be known as the game. In the game, all players were required to be intimately honest with each other using a series of what they called indictments to attack hypocrisy and fraud in a fellow group member.
Also, I know another game, and you just lost it.
Why?
Oh, yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Game, you just lost it.
Why?
You
You don't need to.
He doesn't know this?
No.
What? It's like schoolyard, man.
schoolyard
You never
game.
had time on the schoolyard.
No, I was out there with all the boys.
No, you weren't. You weren't
Yeah,
out with
I
all the
played
girls
handball.
No, you didn't.
No, I played handball, and then we did sometimes play like Married Life, where I would be a husband.
Oh my God!
And then I played
childhood.
superheroes, and then we played with the Ouija board. But I did play handball.
Okay.
You played handball.
Oh yes, I sported.
It's a little racket.
But the game is the thing that you say, and then if you say the game, become aware of the game, you've lost it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's like I'm talking to my father.
I don't know.
So disappointed.
I'll be
sound
your
like
father. Henry Thomas.
Oh God,
End me.
now you're making me sad. Now it's too real.
Oh.
You sound like a teenager trying to explain 4chan to his uncle.
It's difficult.
Like how cool 4chan is.
It's cool, man. It's new.
It's
It's a
now
bulletin board.
4chan, so that's the fourth grandson of Jackie Chan. Is that correct?
Well, in the game, like I said, all players were required to be intimately honest. And the idea was that this introduced a brutal kind of accountability that led to the development of personal integrity, a drop in impulsive action, and a sense of social responsibility.
And remember, at this time period, this is all done with consenting, hardcore adults.
Yes, it is. That is key.
At the very top of this, there was a kind of an edge to it that did seem to be helpful. Like there was a little bit of it, but
Because obviously we're discussing the troubled teen industry.
Yes. And this is adults.
Okay.
Because the idea is that you might think twice about doing something shitty if you knew that you'd be publicly bawled out during a game session for doing that shitty thing.
Gotcha.
And by Dederic's reckoning, drug addicts couldn't hide anything if they expected to be clean because secrecy was the root of their addiction.
I mean, it's a simplification, but yeah.
Well, no, I mean, that's the thing is that the game and Synanon worked for some people, just like AA works for some people.
Sure. I mean, I'm just saying when I think of drug addicts, I don't think of secrecy because you see them in New York.
All they do is run their mouth.
They're talking or kind of falling over, but also not. But that's what the Twin Towers needed. Heroin. Have you ever seen?
So it
they should have had. They should have had one entire floor just full of heroin. Nah, back up just fine.
But you know what they're not being honest with is anybody but themselves.
Well, that's the thing is that it's Synanon is someone. It's a program for people who do keep it a secret,
and they need to talk.
And
they need to talk.
They
Great.
need to talk. They want to talk.
Sure.
They are actively asking for this. And people who participated, they said they felt invigorated afterward. Their behavior, some people, it changed significantly.
Great.
And as far as how a game session went, they lasted between 2 and 3 hours and were comprised of 8 to 15 players. And all of this was transposed in an extremely simplified form to the troubled teen industry, to many of the troubled teen schools.
Okay.
Each player was asked to, quote, run their story, which was their cue to open up their life to the other players.
Like me, I'm a fuckable, unstoppable force of nature, right? And everybody says, Chuck, stop fucking, right? We can leave some ladies and the rest of us. And I was like, all right, I will quit the booze.
Well, after opening up, the other players confronted lies and weaknesses in a public forum of analytical and humorous gossip. No holds barred. You could attack interpersonal issues, work patterns, emotions, idiosyncrasies, basically any weak spot.
Sounds like a Comedy Central roast of an alcoholic.
Yeah. And honestly, a lot of those, the more lives have been changed insides of roasts than have had in most rehab centers, I'm pretty certain.
Yes, indeed.
But the thing, I mean, it is a roast, but it's an uncorked roast.
Yeah, it's rough.
Uncorked roast.
But, and this is absolutely key, the point of the game was not to attack the person, but to attack the behavior.
Hate the sin, not the sinner.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. This allowed the target to separate themselves and look at what they were doing rather than absorbing the abuse personally. The problem was that when the game was adapted to troubled teen programs like the Elan School or Straight Inc., no such distinction was made. That subtlety was lost. In essence, they were handing this fairly complicated and subtle method to emotionally unstable, traumatized teenagers who were usually just looking to transfer the pain they'd received to whoever was next in line.
So the drugs aren't the problem, you're the problem.
That's the idea. But then you even say that it's complicated and subtle, but where it would go, like it actually it's a different process that I think a lot of other therapies, maybe I'm wrong here, but it sounds like it started.
It doesn't sound complicated at all.
But it started complicated and subtle and actually became more simplified as it went.
Well, yeah.
Like, because as they started doing the game more and more, the more abusive it came, as we'll see.
Oh, yeah, very much so. But in Synanon, the game, at least in the early days, it was described as an emotional dance. It was a dream that could either be a nightmare or a pleasant experience. And I realized there's no word for a good dream.
Yeah, there is.
Just nightmare. That's one word.
Yeah, what's a word for a pleasant dream?
There isn't one.
Yeah, there is.
What is it?
Euphoria.
That's not, but that's not a...
That's the name of a TV show where teens are doing naughty things.
No, there's got to be something. Dream.
There's not?
A pleasantry.
Pleasant dream. Pleasant dream. Yeah, I guess you just say pleasant dream.
Yeah.
Good dream. Nice dream.
That's how very few times a nice dream happens.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Isn't that true?
I only have nightmares.
I had a dream I couldn't stand up.
Wow.
I was going through a lot of knee pains because of the weather. Because of the rain.
Well,
so you
just sat in a chair in your dream?
No, I was trying to stand up and fight people, but I couldn't stand up.
That's really sad.
That's hard. My knees were hurting.
Wow.
Mm-hmm. Interesting.
Yes, indeed.
Interesting.
Move on.
Mm-hmm. I had a dream last night that I was being choked in a garage full of silver balloons.
Buddy, that wasn't a dream.
Whoa, yeah, dude, that happened, man.
Yeah, we were there.
Sorry, dude.
Sorry.
Yeah,
we fucked you up real good, dude.
We hired a TaskRabbit. Yeah, he was so good. I give him 4 stars, though, because 5 stars is something special.
He was actually dressed as a huge rabbit.
Yeah, okay. Well, I thought it was just the
Henry and I are doing our own CIA.
We're psyoping you?
Yeah, you don't know that yet. We just blew the cover.
I mean, but he'll forget.
I'll forget. Yeah, that's the thing. You just say the magic word and it'll just go back. You say like Peabody, and then I'm done.
Artichoke.
So, in other words, it was...
Nailed it.
In other words, it was something far too complex and sensitive to be directed by sociopaths and or traumatized teens, because sometimes it was both. But one thing that both the game and the troubled teen attack therapies like Alon School's general meetings shared was the use of extreme profanity.
It's kind of fun.
Dederich believed that the use of obscenity and blasphemy helped lower inhibitions, which can be fun if it's all adults. But when it's used by teens, it's usually just a bunch of fucks strung together with no real structure or purpose.
I feel like I used more curse words in a general sense when I was younger, but now I like to use them more and I use them more effectively.
Absolutely.
Pointed. Yeah.
Yes. Come.
Which technically not even a curse word, to be honest.
It's not, but you made me laugh. Yeah.
It's that easy.
Yeah.
I know. I used to just say full sentences that were all curse words. But you could understand when I was get that fucking bullshit out of my goddamn asshole.
Cock and ass and fuck.
Yeah. And that's basically what happened.
Right.
Now, the game wasn't the only method taken from Synanon. Like the Alon schools, new Synanon residents had to break outside relations for the first 90 days.
This first step.
Yeah.
That's bad.
Although that could be extended to a year if those outside relations were deemed detrimental.
Well, that's the first thing that is a red flag to me.
Oh, yeah.
And similarly, anything that might distract the addict was taken away. For example, Synanon was extremely popular amongst the jazz community because heroin was very popular amongst the jazz community.
It's how you get relaxed.
It makes sense.
So most jazz musicians were barred from playing instruments or singing for the first part of their stay at a Synanon center.
I actually want to thank Synanon for saving my favorite bar on Friday nights. Jazz night has been canceled.
And it's kind of fun, though, but it is sad to have a room where specifically no saxophones are allowed.
Yeah, that is weird.
No, yeah, that is weird. No saxophones.
Not a single saxophone.
But it's specifically pointedly no saxophones or trumpets.
I mean, that's also, again, if you're bringing, I feel like saxophone's more friendly. If you're bringing a trumpet to a meeting, it sounds like you're trying to disrupt something.
That's true. I feel like a trumpet is friendlier. I feel like a saxophone is a very aggressive instrument.
No, because you can play the sax, and the sax can sound beautiful alone. A trumpet is just...
Or maybe I just have those associations because of the saxophone guy that used to be on the L train.
Yeah, play me to stop.
Yeah, pay me to stop.
Yes.
Yeah. And that was back when it was fun.
Back when it was fun.
Yes.
But all of this, these are the seeds of the cult-like behavior that Synanon would eventually fall prey to. Another was the institution of something nonsensically called Ramadula.
I feel like because it will become
Sounds
a pattern.
like a name from The Water Boy. Ramadula? You hanging out with them Ramadula, man, and go down there and play for Ramadula.
But Chuck Dederich loved the sound of his own voice, right? Yeah. And he was constantly improving these monologues. And people would go like, this kind of started early and then just got worse and worse and worse as it went. But it does sound like a lot of people adopted his little pet sayings and that they became official terminology for the club.
I mean, fuck, dude. Literally, fuck. We all say that sentence that he created. You know, it's the first day of the rest of your life.
No, he was a quote machine.
Wow. I mean, that's pretty incredible, to be honest.
Well, in Ramadula, Synanon members had to act unnaturally upbeat no matter what they were doing, and visitors often described being met with an unsettling sea of smiles at Synanon facilities.
It's what he took from AA, which is act as if. Act as if you were the person you wanted to be, like the idea of you fake it till you make it.
Yeah, but why would you want to be a smiling buffoon all the time? Because that's not the right emotion for 90% of life.
But straight up, Chuck Dederich said that I want you to be so busy when I look at you, you're nothing but a blur of teeth and pink.
Sounds like my manager at Wendy's.
Yeah. That's your manager at Wendy's said that you wanted to be she wanted you to be a blur of teeth and pink.
If you got time to lean, you got time to clean.
Actually, leaning doesn't take a lot of time.
No,
it really doesn't. You really will not let go if you got the time to lean, you got time to clean.
It's the most offensive thing that has ever been said to him.
I've worked at 8 fast food restaurants. Every time I got a fine for breaking the law, I had to go pay it off, and I had to go to a fast food job.
Well, Synanon, they actually got a lot of positive attention in their early days, and some of it was oddly prophetic. A senator named Thomas Dodd declared that Synanon could, quote, lead the way in the future to an effective treatment for not only drug addicts, but also criminals and juvenile delinquents.
Senators immediately looking to find because they just want a one-stop shop where it's like, great, we'll take these troubled people, we'll fucking put them in a room, boom, done, they're done, they're fixed, boom, back in the workforce. Like, they just don't give a shit. They don't care. They just think that they can do it fast.
To be honest, though, it seems more sympathetic than the war on drugs.
Oh, it's very much.
At the very least, they're like, well, let's not incarcerate them. Let's go to meetings. I mean,
I
could see this actually if. Well, obviously, because it's going to spiral out of control. But if it stays good, it could have been something good.
It seems to be that it never does.
No, it doesn't.
Well, it's ego. It's always egos getting out of control. It's why Jim Jones and Chuck Dederich are very similar, because they're men who start off with good intentions. I do believe they do have good intentions at first. With Jim Jones, it was racial equality. With Chuck Dederich, it's treatment of addicts. But at one point, either they get bored or their ego gets fed. Their ego just gets too fat and they just lose it. And then when substances come into play, with Jim Jones, it was amphetamines. With Chuck Dederich, it's going to be the relapse of alcoholism.
Yeah.
It just spins out of control and things get real fucking weird.
I'm trying to think of anyone who has started anything with bad intentions and ironically it turned out to be good. It's kind of interesting that most things people do think they're doing good and then it turns bad.
That's why we have that whole the saying, the road to hell is paved with good intentions.
I feel like we developed a whole series of drones that go blow people up, and now they make incredible cheap shots in our favorite superhero movies.
That's worth it.
Yeah.
It's worth a 20-year war plus the next 1,000-year war we're about to have.
That's pretty good. Yeah, we got those cool shots and smile.
Hey, man, think about that.
Oh, really cool.
They lent Tom Cruise, they lent that slave owner full jets to
Big
just
jets.
fly around in the
That's true.
sky. It's incredible that we did. And now there are movies and we like it, but before they were being used to strafe, like civilians.
Okay, great. Good. Sure.
Well, a little like Scientology, Synanon attracted a fair amount of attention from the entertainment business. Besides the aforementioned jazz musicians, a feature film based on Synanon's founding called Synanon was released in 1965, co-starring Eartha Kitt in a supporting role as Chuck Dederich's wife, Betty. Let's play a little bit of the trailer.
Please, can we see Eartha Kitt?
Yes. Oh,
One
yes.
of the most beautiful women that's ever
beautiful.
lived.
She's incredible.
She's always my Catwoman.
Synanon is a real corporation. Its business is junkies. Chuck Dederich is the ex-drunk who dreamed it up and fights to keep it from becoming a nightmare.
Nice.
Get out of that car and shut up. Stand over there. Put your hands against the wall. Get in that cell and stay there. But nobody tells me what to do.
Then, the ex-con with the killer's fist tensed so tight for a fix they bleed.
Look, Betty, I don't make scenes with chicks because I've got other things on my mind.
Doll face with a deadly, expensive appetite.
What are you, my nurse?
No, just another dope fiend.
Zanky. The hip-hop head. Up from the gutter to grab anything he could get.
Cool.
Yeah, Zanky doesn't make it, by the way.
Yeah, Zanky's not going anywhere.
Wow, you can almost hear the big fat tie and suspenders.
No, it's cool because, again, Talk about a movie that at least everybody who's in it looks horrible.
Do they?
You know, there's a
Not
old
Eartha
school.
Kitt.
Well, the guy not
Eartha Kitt looks great. Yeah.
But Chuck Dederich is like played by. It's so nice to have him not played by like Joaquin Phoenix.
Oh, I know.
Like it's just like a fat ugly guy playing a fat ugly guy. It's revelatory.
I mean, I loved the dude who played Penguin. He did a great job, but
he was great.
They could have
Danny
just
DeVito?
Colin Farrell.
Colin Farrell.
Oh, that's right.
They could also just hire an ugly actor every now and again.
It's hard, man. Ugly actors are
To be
fucking,
honest
a lot of
with
times
you,
they're guilty of crimes.
The person who should have played the Penguin, who truly seems evil, judging by all of his stories, is Joey Diaz.
Technically, yes, he is guilty of kidnapping.
Yeah, you think about the ugly actors that would be good at playing Penguin that's also a criminal. Jeffrey Jones.
Jeffrey Jones as well. Actual criminals.
Actual
should play.
criminal.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
He's the
Hire
principal.
criminals to play criminals, please. Representation.
Fantastic.
Now, within 10 years of its founding, right around the time that the Synanon movie was released in theaters, Chuck Dederich's unlicensed rehab startup had 1,100 members and was getting $2.5 million a year in donations.
Yeah.
Wow.
It owned $7 million in real estate in 5 states. It had its own merch business, and it ran a number of gas stations.
He learned that from Scientology, is that you buy into real estate.
He actually is a better businessman than all of Adult Swim.
Yeah.
They actually have merch.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing. You say he learned it from Scientology. I don't think he did, because Scientology and Synanon ran parallel to each other.
Maybe it's because he was an executive already. He had started as he was working for a big corporation, and then he just understood, like, I just use that structure.
Yeah, I think he's just smart. You know, like there's a good idea is a good idea. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Yeah.
Now, partly, Synanon had gotten so cash rich because it had opened its ranks to non-addicts in the late 60s, because Dederich figured that anyone could benefit from the game, and non-addicts, they got a lot more money than drug addicts.
You got one foot shorter than the other. You got one leg shorter than the other.
We're going to have to tug on that leg.
Yeah, we're
Allegorically.
I just feel like if you don't have a problem, why would you go to this?
It's because, again, we're going to get into it. It's about building an understanding community.
Okay.
Well, these non-addict Synanon members were called squares. And once they joined, Chuck Dederich realized that people shouldn't, quote-unquote, graduate from Synanon anymore. Used to be you could graduate from Synanon.
No,
Go form your own. Be a seed in the world.
It was supposed to correct you and help you and then
Right.
release you. But then he realized, what was the quote? He realized that
You can't graduate a religion.
Yeah, but he's not quite to that point yet.
Look at that.
Well, that's the beginning of a cult.
Yeah, well, he realizes at this point that Synanon can become a lifelong commitment. Why let people go?
Yeah,
And
this is like
predictably-
what happens when they allow you to graduate with a master's in sociology and your only profession is being a teacher.
That's hard.
Now, predictably, once Synanon became a long-term thing and more people with money joined, Chuck Dederich began building compounds. And by 1971, and this is what I'm talking about, the largest cult you've never heard of, almost 2,000 people lived in Synanon facilities, mostly here in California.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good thing Janet Reno wasn't around then. She would have had a field day killing all of them.
Oh, yeah.
Mhm. Well, consequently, Chuck Dederich and Synanon became more controlling and militant in the late 60s and early 70s. In 1971, for example, Dederich tried putting some uppity dope fiends in their place with an act that was later called the Dirty Double Dozen.
Oh, baby.
He's really good with the names.
Seen that. Dirty Double Dozen.
Oh man, that sounds like a great it sounds like a great donut shop in Portland.
Sounds like
I was just, all I heard was bukkake.
yeah,
That's
a lot of
all
bukkake
I
there.
saw in my head was bukkake.
I just thought are like really unhealthy donuts,
Yeah,
but
I
like
could see
really good donuts.
There's a difference between us. I gotta take a break.
I could see that being like a special every Thursday at Burger King, the Dirty Double Dozen.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah, so burgers, donuts, come.
That's about the show.
Yep, that's the show.
That nails it.
Well, after ordering 22 dope fiend old-timers and 2 young squares onto a Synanon bus they dubbed the Cinecruiser.
That's cool. Honestly, that's actually cool.
It was a Greyhound bus that they bought. It's like, that's the Cinecruiser.
It's sweet, though.
Paul Morantz also hits it a lot with the term jitney.
Jitney?
He kept calling it a jitney.
Okay.
And then actually Chuck Dederich went as far as to say is that the bus, the Cinecruiser, was the second most important element of Synanon other than him. He loved his bus.
So L. Ron Hubbard had the Seacraft and the boat, and he's got the Cinecruiser.
He's got the Cinecruiser.
Okay.
But the Cinecruiser is very necessary because their two biggest compounds are in Santa Monica and in Marin County, like right north of San Francisco.
Yeah.
So, they're like about 400 miles apart from each other.
Yeah, it's like 5.5 hour drive.
Yeah.
You're putting that in the bus. Zip, zip, zip. Back
Oh, man, being on a bus with a bunch of people who are recovering drug addicts. I mean, it is just a Greyhound.
They're singing songs.
Yeah. But that's the thing is that they actually, total silence on this trip.
Oh,
yeah,
my God, what a
total
nightmare.
silence from Santa Monica to Marin County.
Actually, maybe that's best. Now that I think about it. If I was a passenger, maybe silence is best.
Mandatory silence is definitely better than mandatory singing.
Yes.
That is for certain.
I agree.
Well, the Double Dozen, once they arrived, they had all of their possessions taken away. And they were then verbally attacked in a special game featuring Dederich, his wife Betty, the one that's played by Eartha Kitt.
Oh.
There was also the Synanon director of the board and an attorney Square. And amongst the indictments were skimming community supplies and smoking, which were two things that were newly banned in Synanon. Because it used to be smoking was almost mandatory. They actually spent something like $70,000 a year on cigarettes.
Oh, yeah, man. This is back when cigarettes were good for your teeth.
Yeah, and this was back when cigarettes were like a dime a pack, and they're still spending like $60,000 a year on smokes.
You can't pull the rug out like that, though.
Yeah.
You have
Well,
to give, because you got to wean them off the cigarettes.
It was all because Chuck Dederich had just stopped smoking cigarettes, which becomes a theme. And every single time he decides he wants to do something, the whole group either says, oh, that's a great idea, or Chuck Dederich has sort of like hinted, this would be a great idea for you all to say that this is a great idea.
No, that sucks.
And then it becomes a law.
I see.
In addition, the Double Dozen was also accused of not playing the game enough, which is basically you're not as invested in the cult as you need to be, and also impregnating two other residents. So that one's kind of serious.
You're not supposed to do that.
You're not supposed to do that.
No, this is also a weird strain.
Yeah. And so after over 100 confessions were made during dozens of games, the Dirty Double Dozen were made to shave their heads as contrition, as was the Synanon custom.
Oh, yes.
Why is that? When it comes to certain religious beliefs, the hair is so important. I mean, obviously, you go to prison, the first thing they do, shave that dome off
to
military.
dehumanize you.
It really does change you, doesn't it? The
It
hair.
does. You look at the same thing we talk about with Heaven's Gate, that we joke about the haircuts and stuff on that episode. But again, it's about creating
really
a
important.
unified identity so that everybody looks exactly the same. And at the very beginning of that, I will listen to the first couple episodes of that. The show about Synanon. I forgot. I think it was called The Sunshine Place or whatever. And it was like, because it was from two kids that were raised in it.
Yeah.
And one of them were saying like, it is just wild to see your, like once you get your head shaved and you're like, oh, I don't look like me anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's why Ben Kitzel's cult bush hair.
A big old bush.
It's got very specific rules and standards for your bush hair.
Yes, because then you go around with a ruler to measure the level of bush hair, being like, you need to actually be taking more keratin. This mound could be an inch higher.
But that's the thing. What if that's the thing. Everyone's got different curlies, and everyone's got different thickness in their curlies.
Technically, I have a lot of bush hair, but it's almost translucent.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I
We
got
have
a lot
similar
of
bush hairs.
Yeah, but I got really thick. Like I got bush hair like a thorn bush.
Yep,
you know.
Yep. Well, that's allowed.
I'm just glad Fernando's here in the room. I'm glad he knows. I'm glad he knows that we're all. It's good.
He
for
knows.
us.
He knows.
It's good for the company.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But while the act of shaving one's head started off as contrition, everyone was eventually contrite so often that almost all Synanon members just kept their head shaved. In fact, so many people in Synanon had shaved heads that George Lucas used a Synanon chapter as bald futuristic dystopian extras in his first movie, THX 1138.
You know things are going wrong when you're just cast as a dystopian nightmare race.
So, all right, so you guys are all a bunch of like slaves to a godhead, right? Like, great, perfect. Stand over here. Like,
No makeup needed today.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Now, at one point, Synanon did dip their toe into the troubled teen industry, but once they did so, it was the beginning of the end of the good times for the soon-to-be cult.
That fast.
Yeah. See, during the 60s and 70s, Synanon coordinated with the San Francisco and Oakland police departments to see if they could adapt the game to help juvenile offenders. This had come about because Synanon had previously hosted games between police and felons in order to improve relations between them. And at one point, they had put on a very tense game between Oakland police and the local chapter of the Black Panthers.
That must have been really fun. That must have been a great game of laser tag.
The energy in that room must have just been out of control.
Wow, what a game of dodgeball.
But since it seems like those games yielded positive results, Synanon took 49 adult criminals in an experiment that was overseen by California State University, and they began gaming them. Surprisingly, the program led to positive successes for 38 out of those 49 people.
Okay.
So they figured if it worked for adults, it must work for kids.
Yeah.
So a Synanon supporter named Donald Cressy, who was actually a sociologist and a criminologist, he worked with Synanon on what they called the Punk Squad.
This is just, again, because adults can understand that you're making fun of me. And I'm like owning it, right? Like you can call an adult a dope fiend and they can understand the vague sense of irony that's kind of like attached to it.
Okay, you got me.
All right. But kids don't.
Yeah.
Like on some level, it's very difficult. I mean, like, yeah, they do, but it's like it gets in there. Like it fucks with a bunch of. You call them a bunch of punks, and like that's what you do, and we're like, you're some troubled kid. We're gonna fucking straighten you out and shit. It feels like maybe I'm wrong, but it seems that kids don't really respond to that as well.
They don't.
Most don't. I certainly didn't. That's for sure.
No, they internalize it, and it becomes trauma, and they become what you tell them they are.
I think so.
Yeah, I used to get called a really cool kid.
Yeah, that's why. Look at him, man. That's why he rode up here on a motorcycle. But what's weird is the engine wasn't going. And I was like, "How you doing?" And he just walked it with his feet. I was like, "That's how economical."
Cool kid.
Now, in complete contradiction to everything Synanon previously believed, none of the kids in the Punk Squad were in the program voluntarily, which was a key component for the game to work. You gotta want to be there.
Yeah, otherwise you just got fucking forced into a room where everyone screams horrible things at you.
Exactly. And additionally, the Punk Squad used physical force for the first time in Synanon's history, because Synanon leaders decided the punks needed to be pushed to the ground by the chest when necessary if they didn't listen or participate.
Well,
And again,
it seems
they're
like we
kids.
are escalating quickly here.
Very quickly, and these kids are not there on their own will, right? So they don't particularly understand. They are prisoners there in a way.
Yeah.
And so, they're not really responding to the game the way you want them to. So instead of you just kind of understanding and leaving room for that, yes, they just started like mushing their faces into the ground.
Yeah, they're juvenile delinquents.
Right.
Like, they don't want to do your stupid little fucking game.
Also, they were probably right. Because of the 60s and 70s.
Sometimes
and
they're
like,
seeing through the shit, just being like, y'all know that this is bad, right? You know this is going to go south.
you don't want to go fight the Viet Cong on the name of democracy?
Yeah.
You don't want to do that?
It's like, no, dude, I don't.
Yeah, you're a punk.
It really feels like I should just stay home.
You're a punk.
Well, treated as second-class citizens within the already rigid Synanon hierarchy, punks had to sit in the back of the bus, hold doors open for non-punks, address every non-punk as sir or ma'am. They had to wake up at 4 a.m. every day, and they were required to smile at all times.
I needed a little bit. I needed to do a little bit of ringaloo, right? Ringaloo, rongading,
Ramadoo.
The forced to smile thing is so nefarious to me.
Oh, it is.
So
because it's
gross.
thought it is literally trying to control the inner life of any one human being.
And I would assume if they weren't smiling, then some jackass would be like, "Where's your smile?"
Yeah, you get called out.
Yeah. Scream at you, and you probably get pushed to the ground if you refuse to smile. One punk, who was only 9 when he was put through the program, 9 years old, he said that he was forced to run 2 miles as a punishment, but ran out of breath less than a quarter of the way in. By his memory, he was shouted at, punched, and kicked in the butt by a punk squad coordinator. They called the coordinators, they called them ramrods.
Yeah, the ramrods.
Well, that is not even a euphemism.
Well,
that is
again,
a
it's all these
horrible
weird names.
Ramrod.
Yeah. And of course, as soon as corporal punishment and physical intimidation was used on the punk squad with the kids, it slowly seeped into the rest of the community. It was a slippery slope. And that's where things started going very wrong for Synanon.
It's like a multi-level marketing scheme, but just with violence.
Just with violence.
Now, once Synanon began admitting so-called squares into the program, things became more cult-like, and the adult members of Synanon began subjecting their children, sometimes as young as 3 years old, to the game.
What?
Now, in the early days...
Wait, hold on a second. What the fuck could a 3-year-old be accused of?
I don't know.
Like, literally, what does a 3-year-old do that's purposely wrong?
It's really difficult to kind of like, it's weird, because in some ways... They treated kids like we talked about this in the last episode, but something about them not being people, right? Like they're these little robots. There's these things that we can just make them and break them, and we do whatever it is that we want with them. And that a 3-year-old like, it does not, we just don't, no room for the fact that these brains develop.
Right.
And that they are changing. And then the sea of like hormones, all these bodies are like, these things are happening. Again, you're 3. You just started. It's very difficult to have a lot of baggage at 3. And if you do, a lot of times it's because you've already been a soldier for 2 years, like in some other country.
Yeah.
Right? Which is very difficult to find the helmets that small.
Oh, I've seen baby soldiers, yeah.
Now, in the early days of the squares, the early 70s, children of Synanon members reported more or less positive experiences with the game when it was complicated, basically, and you took your time with it. But in later years, when things got a little looser, children found it traumatizing. And this was the game being led by fucking experts. When interviewed as adults, many of these people said that children were nowhere near the appropriate level of maturity for the game. And most of them incurred emotional damage because they couldn't play it correctly. It's like asking a 10-year-old who usually only plays Fortnite to beat Dark Souls, and when they can't do it, you call them a dirty cocksucker.
Actually, I think in that way, you might be right. I think that it's because you should force the child to understand that video games are important and that they need to get their shit together, right?
Yeah.
Because now video games are money. You can be a professional video game player. So you sit there and one day you sit there, we'll have our adopted children, and you'll look down at them and you'll force them to run Dark Souls again and again.
Do a speed run. Yeah, that's a good idea.
You good at this.
Yeah. Don't tell them that you just run past the asylum demon the first time.
No.
Don't tell them that.
No, because
see if that little fucker can beat the asylum demon with the broken sword. Fuck him. Fuck him. Fuck him.
These games are too hard these days. I'm trying to play Callisto Protocol, man. I'm playing it on minimum security, and I can't play it, and I'm done now.
No, you want to know too hard? Go back, try to play some Mega Man. Then you'll see.
I don't want to fucking play Mega Man. Also, isn't he a woman? Which one's the woman?
Metroid. You're thinking of Samus Aran. Metroid. That's Metroid.
No.
Kids need to be reading the damn encyclopedia.
Well, speaking of kids, Synanon also had a fair amount of child abuse accusations. Not sexual, but physical.
Yeah, it seems like it.
Yeah, it's like when a 15-year-old runaway said in court that she'd been forced to clean up pig manure with carrot sticks as a disciplinary measure.
Okay, yeah.
I mean, so we're going to be eating that in 2030, so.
It's not. Yeah, that's going to be a luxury. Ooh, pig manure with carrot sticks. What kind of hummus
Animal
is
matter? This is incredible.
Wow.
Rise from your grave.
Did you know that property crimes like burglaries and package theft spike over the winter? That's why now is the best time to secure your home with award-winning home security from SimpliSafe. SimpliSafe is whole home security with advanced sensors for every room, window, and door, and even hazard sensors that detect fires, floods, and other threats to your home. 24/7 professional monitoring service costs under $1 a day, less than half the price of ADT's professionally installed system. Stay in control of your system anytime, anywhere with the top-rated SimpliSafe app. Here at Last Podcast on the Left, we love SimpliSafe. We know our studio is going to be protected from all things evil. Customize the perfect system for your home in just a few minutes at simplisafe.com/LPOTL. Go today and claim a free indoor security camera plus 20% off your order with interactive monitoring. That's simplisafe.com/LPOTL. There's no safe like SimpliSafe.
Is there anything better than a summer evening outdoors? Enjoy your space to the fullest with new greenery from Fast Growing Trees. I love a big, thick bush. Fast Growing Trees is America's largest, most trusted online nursery, and they can send me a big, thick bush any time of the day. It arrives at work. It arrives at my car. I can pinpoint on a Google map where it is. Send me a big, thick, brown bush. And they send it immediately when they have it, because sometimes the shaver comes to town. I remember one time I ordered a cherry wood tree from Fast Growing Trees. And my God, I couldn't cut it down, no matter what my father told me to do. I had to lie to him about it. And next thing you know, I became the first president of the United States of America. And even you can become the first president of the United States of America with Fast Growing Trees. Right now, get up to half off select summer planning essentials, plus get an additional 20% off your first purchase with code LEFT at checkout. That's an additional 20% off at fastgrowingtrees.com with code LEFT at checkout. Offer is valid for a limited time only. Terms and conditions apply. In the United States of America, there's a break-in every 26 seconds. That means somewhere, right now, an intruder is getting closer. The problem is most security systems only alert you after a break-in has already started. That's too late. Choose SimpliSafe to secure your home. Using the Outdoor Camera Series 2 and advanced AI alerts, SimpliSafe's US-based live agents identify threats on your property and help deter them, stopping crimes before it starts. That's real peace of mind. They've got a really great security system that makes sure people don't get in your house or it makes a big noise. And to me, that's a big deal for me, is that it protects all of our yelling with a siren in our studio, which is one of the most important things that can be protected. I don't care if thieves come and kidnap us. I don't care if marauders come and steal our staff and bring them to another country against their will. As long as our words aren't affected, as long as our precious data isn't affected. And SimpliSafe does that. And for that, I say, God bless you, SimpliSafe. God bless you. God bless you, SimpliSafe. God bless you. Experience greater peace of mind with SimpliSafe, now available with an exclusive discount for our listeners. Right now, you can get 50% off your new system by visiting simplisafe.com/LPOTL. That's half off at simplisafe.com/LPOTL. There's no safe like SimpliSafe.
Courage. I learned it from my adoptive mom. Hold my hand.
You hold my hand. Learn about adopting a teen from foster care at adoptuskids.org. You can't imagine the reward. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.
Now, as far as the game itself went, it too took on a different structure in the 70s, where before anyone could say anything in the game and not be punished, that was sort of the point of it, you could now be disciplined for what you said in the game.
Then why would you tell the truth then?
The whole point is, again, it's starting to create this system, this it's eat your own tail system where no matter what, you're guilty and you're guilty and you're guilty. And
right.
So you're forced to be you're forced to no, you haven't changed yet. You're not done yet. You're not done.
Yeah, and because you could be disciplined outside of the game for things that you said in the game, players stopped being honest.
Of course.
And the therapeutic benefits of the game were completely lost. The whole thing fell apart from here. And Chuck Dederich also began recording game sessions and Synanon meetings with the supposed idea that it would make everything open to everyone. But in reality, it gave Chuck Dederich the ability to keep tabs on what everyone was saying and doing.
Right.
And it was a further bad idea because those game sessions and meetings would later be used in court in various attempted murder trials.
It's like he's collecting evidence.
Well, he did it accidentally at first and then realized that he can use it against everyone. It's another way to keep everybody in.
Yeah.
Leverage.
But it was
compromat.
But it was also nearly impossible to understand the context of everything being said in those recorded games because the game itself had become so Byzantine and varied. It had become both more complicated and simplified at the same time because there were different kinds of games.
It seems like everyone just made it up themselves, which makes it extremely complicated.
Yes, again, you're just everybody's running train on it. I'm sorry, I was just thinking about the story of the one cop that was blowing all the dudes. The cop that was fucking all the other cops inside of the station while on duty.
The cop blowbang.
Yeah.
You know about this, Ben, right?
I don't.
Have you heard about this?
Have you heard about this? Have you seen this? Have you heard about this?
No, this is one of the stories that must have fallen through my purview this week. Thank you.
You'll like it.
I'll love it.
It's cop blowbang.
I don't know how I missed it. That's all I do all day.
The Synanon basically had 4 stages of development. The first and second stage, from 1958 till 1968, that was focused on the voluntary rehabilitation of alcoholics and drug addicts. Okay. It was there solely as a therapeutic community that made a little bit of money.
I mean, he made money.
Just a little bit of money.
Well, you need a little cash to keep it going.
Listen here, we created a proprietary system. Okay? A little bit of a proprietary system. Okay? You gonna be mad at me? All right? You trying to come here, tell me this proprietary system isn't worth money?
I'm fine with it. It was well worth it. I got better. Okay.
The third stage, that lasted from 1969 till 1975, that was focused on building a social movement to create a utopian society.
That's going to be great. That's going to totally work out.
Yeah. And that's in a time when many hucksters were trying to do the same. This is when they expanded it out to the squares. And when they expanded it out to the squares, they made a little bit more money.
You mean to tell me you're going to be mad at me because I'm bringing in a bunch of extra people? Yes, to my proprietary system. Yes, maybe. I make a little money. Man, everyone's gonna be mad at me. That's my businessman persona inside of me. You're gonna be mad. Oh, I gotta do certain things. I gotta make certain choices because we're looking at financial stability here.
That's all you gotta do.
Yep.
Yeah, that's it.
But the fourth stage, that began in 1975 and lasted until Synanon disintegrated in the late 80s, that was when they got greedy and began to self-identify as a religion.
Oh, yeah.
That eventually became a full-scale charismatic dictatorship run by Chuck Dederich.
Hey, man, because he realized, hey, if we center it, they did it they did it. They came to the L. Ron idea.
Mm-hmm.
All the way the backwards way.
So the savior of the world is a dude named Chuck.
Oh, yeah, buddy.
Okay.
Well, Chuck, he doesn't need a whole head.
Okay.
He's got, you remember, dude.
He's a half-headed dude named Chuck.
Yeah. But that's actually the thing about it, is that it's a religion, not a religion. You know, it's like there's no...
to the IRS, it is very much a religion.
I see.
Yeah,
Within Synanon, because that was their kind of joke. It's like, well, who's God then? I don't know. Oh,
must be Chuck. But then,
yeah, but then
they
it does become Chuck becomes like God-like, but not God. He's
God-esque.
God-ish.
Yeah.
It's like when you go to see a mall Santa.
Yeah,
right?
Santa
That's
Light.
not the main Santa.
No.
He's like, I'm one of the Santas. I'm one of the God's helpers.
It's like that representative, the guy George Santos, who lied about his entire life, who's currently in office, and hopefully not for much longer.
No,
he claimed that he was Jewish, and then he said, no. I said I was Jewish.
Jewish.
As in he watches Woody Allen movies.
But
I don't know what that means.
That just sounds like a review in a theater in the Upper West Side. Jewish. Yeah. Does he look like a man that used to be a haunted clock? Like he looks like he was magically changed from being a fat little table clock to being a guy.
I agree. There's something wrong with him, that's for sure.
It really is. But once the dictatorship came in Synanon, so too did the violence and sexual weirdness that seems to be a specifically Californian cult phenomenon.
It's the sunshine.
Yeah, is that right?
It's always with the sex and violence out here.
I mean, every time I see a mountain, I do see titties.
Yeah.
That's my problem.
Sierra Nevada.
The canyon is a vagina. Look at the butt on that, California.
Pistol out in the middle of the brush, just holding on the side of a mountain, licking, being like, "Here, give me that milk. Come on, give me that milk. Where's Whitey Walker?"
Okay, the sex, I get the landscape makes you horny. What about the violence?
I think he's just lonely.
No, not the violence. I'm good on violence. I don't have any.
Okay.
I don't see any violence.
No.
Where's the violence?
Where is the violence? Honestly, if you
I'm
do
just
look
saying
at
that Californian cults are among the most violent.
Oh, when it comes to that.
Yeah.
But where's
That's our brand.
But see, the sex comes from okay, you're saying that the sex comes from the landscape being horny.
It's a horny landscape.
It is. And the violence comes from TV. Which we also make. Which is also California.
Yeah, it comes back around. I see what you mean.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, Synanon made a very concerted effort to become a religion, and they did so for practical reasons. Namely, the federal government recognized them as a religion in 1974. No taxes.
Listen, guys, and I'm saying this to our listeners right now. You look at me dead in the eyes, and you know for a fact, right, that I'm good for it. Right? But when we start this, if you do happen to see a thing where they say Last Podcast Network's a religion, right? I'm going to need all y'all to just roll with it.
Yeah,
right?
the box that says yes.
Just roll with it, because listen, we're going to give kickbacks to you, because guess what I get to do for you? If when we're a religion, guess what you get to be? Forgiven for free. Done.
Wow.
You get to be done. As soon as we go, just listen, you're cool with me. Whatever you've done, I mean, certain things I can't.
You can't forgive everything.
But
We're
then
not
just
forgiving God.
You know what's on you? Don't tell me about those.
Boom.
Tell me all the things you want. I forgive you. You're done. It'll be completed. You're fixed.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Two on the nose. Two on the nose.
What do you mean?
Well, you just said that publicly.
No.
So now I think the government's going to be like, oh, they're scamming us.
No. I'm going to understand that this is a part of my awakening period.
The Great Awakening.
Let's
Oh, this
see.
is going to go great.
Well, additionally, being a religion, that meant that they didn't have to be licensed.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Isn't that cool? There's less regulation,
Nice.
no taxes, even faker bosses, right? Because you went from just being like, there is no God to Chuck's God.
Yeah.
It's just like, wow, you get nothing but benefits.
I love the government recognizes magic as a reason not to pay taxes. That's fantastic.
Broken system.
Yeah.
But perhaps most importantly, being a religion meant that Synanon was forever. It would eliminate questions like, when does a person graduate from Synanon? Because nobody graduates a religion. When do you graduate Catholicism?
When you say fuck you, dude, like
become the Pope, you finally did it.
Yeah. I guess you could technically, you do graduate Buddhism eventually when you leave the wheel of karma. That is you do graduate Buddhism.
But does anybody? But has anybody? I want to see some proof.
I don't know.
Okay? Show me proof of your enlightenment, all right? Send me a postcard from the netherworld.
They wouldn't have to do that because they're enlightened and they don't care if you agree or not.
That's what's maddening about Buddhism. Because then you're like, oh, I know you don't care, but you do care. You're wearing it now. You just handed me the gold card and you're making me give you $10.
I don't know. Either way,
it's Buddhism. I think you're thinking of Moonies.
No, is that Moonies?
I think it's Moonies.
When the thing where they hand you the card, like it's for good luck, and then when you go to take it, they pull it back and they're like, give me money.
We're just going to say that whatever you're saying is wrong. We're just going to cover that base. I don't know what base we're covering.
Audience will know.
I'm there with you. We're here together, me and you.
Yes,
when does my I'm sorry for everything run out? Like when I said,
that never runs out.
I said I'm sorry for everything. I don't have to renew that, right?
You do.
Yeah.
You have to. Yes, it's fine.
But when?
You just did.
Think about it like every 6 months. Like, you know, when you have a medication that you have to be on forever and like once a month they have to like your doctor has to reevaluate. Yeah. So like once a year, yes, you do. You can get it done for the whole year right now if you want.
I'm sorry for everything.
That's a whole year.
See you in 2024.
All right, great.
Boom.
It is 2023, right?
It is.
Sure.
Okay, cool.
Yes.
And well, around the time that Synanon started calling themselves a religion, shit started getting weird, as it always does. 2 years after they got their tax-exempt status, Synanon instituted a policy that members would no longer have children because the world was overpopulated.
Yeah.
Now, no children wasn't a hard rule, but women were coerced into having abortions more than a couple of times. But eventually, Synanon put the onus of no kids onto the men.
Which actually I find
Snip it up.
weirdly refreshing.
It is refreshing. It's about time.
It's a great way to get to come on titties, faces, butts,
Come
toes.
everywhere else.
Everywhere else, yeah. Well,
But I mean, it got rough.
yeah. Because in 1977, Synanon required that all members over the age of 18 who had been in Synanon for over 5 years, everyone's got to get vasectomies.
It's a vasectomy. You get a vasectomy.
Whoa.
You get a vasectomy.
Fantastic.
Wow. Yeah, it's like being on Oprah.
It's reversible.
Yeah, and these vasectomies were performed collectively at so-called clipping parties.
I'm going to need a doctor.
Yeah, it can't just be some
I
guy.
don't want,
Yeah. Over 250 men participated in these clipping parties.
And a lot of people, immediately ask, like, what do you bring to a clipping party if you go to one? And I tell you what, you bring ice. Ice.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And sadly, you can't bring booze.
No.
Oh,
All of this, all sober.
If and when I go and get because I might do that. You can't show up drunk, right? Like, do they
Do a
numb
vasectomy?
it? Yeah.
Well, you don't want the
I
blood.
can't do one final, like, all right, and like come out, like do one big come
You
out.
still come.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
still
I know,
come
but
with
like
the
come
vasectomy,
with
just no
come
semen
with
in
living
it.
squits.
Yeah.
Right,
No.
like come a couple of living squits, and they'd be like, whoa, like Graham Parsons when he partied really hard
can do
before
that,
but he died.
Yeah.
I think you'll die though because it thins your blood.
Yeah.
So you want to be careful. You don't want to be super hammered during surgery.
Okay,
No.
cool.
No, not
After.
not
We're
super
checking.
hammered.
Just
yeah.
I'm glad Kissel told me.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Now, this naturally led to a mass exodus of members. Not everyone wanted to get clipped.
Yeah, I could see that.
One member said, quote,
Hey, I'll give you my life, Chuck, but not my balls.
That's how much men love their balls.
Yes,
Yeah.
I mean,
I will
seriously.
die, but if you touch my nuts.
Yeah, like that's my cum. Yeah.
But things got weird again in April of 1977 when Chuck Dederic's wife, Betty, died of lung cancer at the age of 55.
One day we'll do an Oscar-style memoriam to all of the wives of cult leaders that died, that allowed the cult then spin wildly out of control. It has happened time and time again.
Yep.
They always have some form of stabilizing influence that vaguely keeps them in pocket for a certain period of time, and then as soon as that's gone, it's just like, all right, fucking fine. The Reich can play.
Well, look what happened with George Lucas. If he would have stayed married, we never would have had Jar Jar Binks.
Yeah.
His wife created Star Wars.
Yeah.
Well, she did the edits and all the stuff in the
And
scripts.
all the things that mattered.
Yeah.
Because then when you watch the ones that didn't have her editing, you're like, why is that there?
It's very interesting.
Yeah, she said give the Wookiee hair. Don't make the Wookiee a space owl.
man, he's stupid. Man, George Lucas was just, God, it just shows that all you have to do is be accidentally right once.
Kind of.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's why Warren Buffett says, as you said about billionaires, he's like, you only got to make 3 good decisions a year. And it's just like, what does that mean?
He drinks Coca-Cola just like us.
I don't think he does. I think he's a little...
No, he drinks Coca-Cola just like us.
He lives in a house. It's just a house.
Just like us.
I don't understand.
Now, so respected was Synanon that the mayor of Los Angeles proclaimed a Betty Dederich Day to recognize her work in drug rehabilitation when she died. And condolences were sent by Jimmy and Rosalind Carter, who just can't catch a break when it comes to their associations.
Yeah, man. Jimmy he had a faith in everybody. Yeah. Rosalind between John Wayne Gacy
Jim
Jones and the leader of Synanon. Maybe she wasn't the best judge of character.
You know what? I'm just going to blame, and I don't mean this because he's doing it. It seemed like the Carter whole administration, a lot of weird shit happened during that time period.
The late 70s were an odd time to be an American.
It feels kind of similar now.
Yeah, it actually does. Yeah. Oh, do you feel the malaise? Don't you feel the malaise?
I do. We have a skeleton president.
Yeah.
Jimmy Carter was young then.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ish.
Yeah.
But
ish.
then,
but he was still kind of a skeleton peanut man.
No,
that's the thing.
He had a full head of hair.
But he was still skeleton-ish.
He was just in shape.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, but you guys call me skeleton. You guys have called me a skeleton since I was fucking 32.
You also like bones more than us.
Yeah, it's more of a bone thing.
Is it more of a bone thing? I always thought it was...
because you saw bone. Like our first gift to Patreon was you sawing bones.
Yeah.
Like Henry and I didn't be like, give him bones. You were like, I got a great idea.
I got all these bones.
I saw all these bones. And then you would complain about how it was getting in your lungs. And we'd be like, stop sawing the bones. You'd be like, you got to saw the bones. They're going to stop listening if they don't get the bones. I think it was illegal as well.
Well,
to send it through the mail.
Where I was doing it was also illegal.
That helped the
all you have to do, don't worry. All you have to do is pay off the health inspector. Isn't that a nice thing to just say out loud?
It's no longer in business.
Yeah. But hadn't nothing felt right since like about 2015 or so?
Things have been weird, yeah.
Like, things have been real odd since 2015.
It's
January 2016. That's about right before Bowie died.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then after
a lot of people blame him.
Things have been real weird since then.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just kind of used to it now, I guess.
Yeah, it's just become, it is now normal technically because it's been 7 years.
Yeah, R.I.P. Bowie. We just passed the anniversary of his death just a couple of days ago.
Jesus Christ.
Ziggy Stardust.
Yeah.
Well, you're going to live longer than that because next week you're 40.
Yeah.
No, Bowie was like in the 70s.
Yeah, I'm saying it. But longer in January.
Yeah. He's trying to be encouraging.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
As for Chuck, though, his wife, Betty, much like Marshall Applewhite's partner, Bonnie Nettles, she was the one who kept him from doing anything too crazy or too sexual, although she was on board with the vasectomies.
Every woman is.
Well, she just wanted not to get pregnant from fucking all the cult members.
Yeah. But after Betty died, both the violence and the weirdness at Synanon escalated once again.
Oh.
At the age of 64, 2 months after Betty's death, Dederich decided to remarry. He told reporters, quote, and this is a direct quote,
I sent up a flare, like any monarch of old times would have done. I let out the word that I was available. All the girls came coming looking to see what was underneath the belly. And guess what they found? A tiny little set of dick and balls.
Yeah, tiny little dick and balls.
4 feet above that was the smartest half-head that woman ever met in her damn life.
Well, indeed. So you think you're a king, you're kind of a monarch then? You're kind of a king? And you have who are you a king of?
I'm a king of this belt.
Yeah.
Come kiss the belt.
All right, I'll kiss the belt.
King of this belt. I like that.
Yeah.
King of this damn belt.
That's how I feel about all my clothes.
I think out of all the cult leaders, Jim Jones would have the best. Charles Manson would have the best belt buckle. I could see Charles
He was
Manson.
mostly belt buckled when he was wearing one.
I could see him having a belt, but just one day, just be like, "Hey man, look at my belt buckle."
Yeah,
I can see that.
But that's the thing is that I think it's that thing like you know how most porn stars are like tiny and that's why the dicks look so
Yes,
big.
exactly.
That would be like Charles Manson because he's so tiny the belt buckle's going to look a lot bigger.
That's fine.
Optics are everything.
Optics are everything.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
Well, 6 women applied to become Dietrich's wife.
Wow.
Applied. But Chuck eventually settled on a 31-year-old teacher at one of Synanon's schools, a woman named Jenny Shulran. Pretty soon after they got married, though, Dederich declared that marriage should no longer be a permanent institution amongst Synanon members.
He is the monarch of that belt, dude, because he understood. He got married immediately. He's like, there's this thing about getting married, right? Is that they call it an institution for a reason. So I say, we let them out. Let out the patients.
Institutions have doors, I suppose.
He told every married couple that they had to split up and form new 3-year-long love matches with new partners plucked from the Synanon membership pool.
It's
so
just
he's
like
going fucking full crazy.
It's really interesting. Again, it's just everyone. It's just they all, without even knowing that all these guys, other cult leaders do this, where they all have the same revelatory, like, we need to fuck each other's wives.
Yeah, why?
Actually, like, it's more that I need to fuck all your wives. So at least he spread the love.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Now, many of these couples had gotten married within Synanon in mass marriage ceremonies. And they'd actually...
How romantic.
Yes. And they'd actually committed themselves not only to each other, but to Synanon itself in their vows. During these ceremonies, men wore overalls and dress shirts, while women wore ankle-length granny dresses and broad-brimmed hats. Actually, overalls were sort of the Synanon uniform because Chuck Dederich, one day, he's one of those guys that just decided, I just want to wear overalls every day for the rest of my life.
Sure, he can do that. I'm wearing sweatpants. I don't ask you guys to wear the same. So basically, he's like, you bitches look like Diane Keaton. Dudes look like someone named Elmer.
Yes. Because again, he had a real overalls body.
Yeah.
Now, you might decide, what is that? Like, if you've seen magazines, a man in overalls a lot of times really cut. He's
really
about to drop it. He's going to show his hog,
with one
right?
little suspender down. Like,
but guess
nipple.
what? Most people in overalls look like Porky Pig.
Yeah.
And that's what he looks like.
Yeah, because you wear overalls so your pants don't fall down when you're farming.
You are now want quick access to shit, and you're sick of dealing with the hassle of all these tight-fitting belts and pants.
Right.
Yeah. And also, they all got married dressed like that. And they got married by a reverend who was riding a Shetland pony.
Why?
He's riding on a tiny little pony.
Because then you have the majesty of a horse without worrying about the emasculating lack of height that you receive standing next to a man.
He's the bad guy from Shrek?
Now, since many of these people had been married to and within Synanon, 230 couples agreed to Chuck's switcheroo plan. So 460 legally married people got divorces and hooked up with someone new.
Well, imagine at some point there's somebody who's just like, yes, yes, this is the excuse I needed, yes.
I'm sure there's a lot of people who weren't like that.
You know, who got excluded? Chuck's brother. He didn't have to do it. Everyone else had to do it, but Chuck's brother got an exclusion.
It's like, I kind of like my wife.
Yeah. He's like, I kind of like her.
All right, you fucking dweeb.
All right.
But since this is another weird-ass request, Synanon had another huge drop in membership, and they lost 300 members in 1977 alone. They actually lost more people from the marriage thing than they did from the vasectomy thing.
I could see that almost.
Yeah. Then, right around the same time that shit got weird, shit also started getting violent.
Yeah.
See, a few years before, Synanon had started stockpiling deadly weapons.
God, it's the stockpiling.
It's the stockpiling.
Yeah.
They got 57 shotguns, 24 Colt 45s, and 300,000 rounds of ammunition.
Now, this transition, like, we're doing a little bit of, like, yada, because it's very difficult to put in. There's a lot of complicated shit happened during this time period, but it's just it's important for you to know that the shift actually did happen fairly quickly.
Yeah.
But the ramp up happened, but it started just, like, compounding. It felt very exponential. Like, it felt like once one thing started happening, the next thing started spilling to the next, and he was ramping up this talking points because everyone's living in a commune. And so he's talking endlessly all
Multiple
day.
communes.
And they're playing the recordings of his speeches. They're playing the stuff and all this thing.
He's got his own radio station that he called it The Wire.
Yes.
That people could listen to it all.
It's a good name of a radio station, though.
He would go into his bedroom and literally start monologuing, and the whole place was built for sound. So you're just living in Chuck Dederich's head all day.
Wow.
He learned from Jim Jones in a way. Again, I don't know if he did or if it's just
Jim Jones was years later.
I think that I feel like in a way that he's the Carlos Mencia. And it's Jim Jones who's still like the elite, right?
Yeah. Why did they feel the need to start stockpiling weapons? Was the government coming after
Paranoia.
It's paranoia, yeah.
Okay.
And I think it's also just a general, being plugged into the decade, man. Like, because, shit gets real dark starting in the early 70s. They're kind of caught up in this whole utopianism type thing, and it's not working out. Nothing's working out for anybody.
In a utopia, you don't need to stockpile weapons.
No, not normally.
That's kind of the whole point of it.
But it's about you got to defend your utopia.
No, I know, because it's not utopia.
Yeah, but it's not because a bunch of people are like, "Hey, you might have developed a system of abuse in there," and everything I hear coming out of your little group, it sounds shadier and shadier and shadier. And then he's like, "No, it's beginning the persecution complex. They're going to come shut us down because they don't get our lifestyle."
Well, I think it's fairly simple. You know that saying, if it smells like shit everywhere you go, check your own shoe? You know, I think Chuck Dederich was
Wait a second. What?
I think that's actually that.
Oh my God!
Yeah, it's
Thomas Jefferson said that.
Yes, Thomas Jefferson. I love that.
If you're the type of person who says that everyone's an asshole,
exactly.
everyone sucks, you suck. You know, like why is everybody always mad at me? It must be their fault. It's like, everybody else.
An asshole.
No, you're the asshole.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happened with Chuck Dederich. Chuck Dederich had a way of antagonizing everybody around him, especially his neighbors.
Well, because they said his issue truly was the fact that he forgot. He'd spent so long in these Synanon groups that he forgot that other people don't talk like that.
Yeah.
They don't curse and scream and yell at people and like be a quote unquote straight shooter. And a lot of times I find that when someone calls themselves a straight shooter, again, they mean a fucking insufferable asshole.
Massive asshole.
And then it's that where it's like always insulting people and talking all this shit. And so his world is really closing in and he's becoming way more isolated.
And because he's becoming so aggressive, everyone around him is becoming so aggressive. He's getting what he's putting out.
Hence the guns.
Exactly. And Chuck Dederich started getting paranoid about the many splittees. That's what he called people who left the program. And that's another thing, is that there's this these multiple mass exoduses of people, and he's thinking, like, they're all against me. There's no other reason why they wouldn't be down for vasectomies or leaving their wife so they can fuck someone random.
Yeah, and group screaming sessions and everybody starting to get physically beat and moved around and pushed around. Yeah, it's very good.
Well, pretty much anything bad that happened was blamed on splittees, and eventually that paranoia translated to violence. Synanon members began assaulting members of their communities seemingly at random, including a rancher who bordered their land. He sounds like such a sweet man. His name was Alvin Gambonini.
Oh.
Okay, hold on. First of all, he does not. He sounds like he's on the lamb. Because there's no... Yeah, name's Tony... Alvin Gambonini.
Gambonini.
I can just see, like, no, Alvin Gambonini. You like it? You like
sounds like
tomato sauce?
Sounds like a man who's murdered.
I try to bring a fresh man cut, and this time you tell me I need to cut my balls. The man, I go up to him, I say, "Oh, I got a nice little prosciutto," and he say, "Why you come? Was this still work?"
No.
And I say, I'm a Gambonine.
Seems like all of your horses don't have heads, Mr. Gambonini. Are you sending those to random beds?
Sometimes a message must be delivered in a simple and direct manner.
No, he's going to knock on your door. He's like, hey, I got some good mozzarella.
No, he's not. No, all right.
Everybody got a head of shit.
Alvin Gambonini.
But if
That's
you
not the name of a farmer.
If you do want to know about the real, it's crazy. There's a bunch of fucking shit. Look at look at the paulmorantz.com and go to the true story of Synanon violence and how it started. The roll up of him. There's a thing called the Siege of Tamales.
Jeez.
Which is what they literally took. Because so as one thing we're yada yada yadaing is that they moved. Right, they moved from Santa Monica and they moved to Riverside. They bought a bunch of complexes, right? They bought a bunch of land, and so once they went isolated themselves. These neighboring towns are like, who the fuck are these people just rolling in? It was
same thing happened with Jonestown.
Yeah, it's a shock to the community, I would think.
Or not Jonestown, with People's Temple when they moved from Indianapolis to California, Northern California, the Redwoods.
Yes, it started with that, right? Because he's doing this, but the local police department loves him. They're hiring members of Synanon to be like deputies and shit, stuff. But they literally attacked an entire town because they believed that people were trespassing on their land or on their roads. And he would say, hey, we're going to go out and we're going to attack these people. That anybody tries to fuck with us, we need to go on the offensive. And we need to show them that we're actually in control of this entire environment. So you have these a bunch of malnourished, bald-headed people in overalls showing up and taking over town squares and shit with broomsticks and shovels. It's really weird.
Well, just take the statues down. I don't care anymore.
Just look up, it's the Siege of Tamales. It's very weird.
Siege of Tamales.
It's just all very weird. I mean, the way one former Synanon member put it is that Synanon wasn't very good at violence. Like,
Yes,
they were
sure.
violent, but they weren't very good at it. You
I
know?
can see that.
Well, we're just lucky that they were not.
Yeah, we are. We're very lucky they weren't. But, Synanon was also sometimes the target of violence. Like Synanon residents said that they were shot at sometimes. They said. Like, teenagers would try hitting them with their cars.
Again, they said, yes, exactly.
Yeah.
They were on the street, but this is their extension out. This is the part of the persecutory thing that they said. It was that everybody hated us. And it was like, no, it's because you showed up and then you would claim back roads for Synanon. And he would do this thing, be like, no, this is our road now. And then you'd show and be like, no, I've been driving this road for 25 years.
It's like now you forced us into conflict, and then you're going to blame me for having to react to you.
Yes, exactly. But Synanon members, they began training with guns and batons, and eventually they created their own martial art to defend themselves. They called it Sindo.
Yeah.
I'm going to shoot myself.
Yes, what you want to do is you want to pin the guy into the table, right? You want to get him down into a chair, right?
Yeah.
And the thing is, you put that fucking TV on, you give him some pizza, and you make him too lazy to fight you back. And then you take that knife, you stick it in between the left ribs and directly in the heart, and then he's dead.
Oh, wow, the old Jesus death there. What if I just punch you in the head?
You'd have to fucking get the mission half.
Yeah.
Well, from what Dederich said, he was tired of turning the other cheek, tired of the spineless hippie shit. That's how he put it.
Oh.
In one case, Synanon members caught a guy siphoning their gas, so they grabbed him, held him down, and shaved off his head and beard.
I do like that people who siphon gas see everything as a cup.
Again, Synanon doesn't do violence very well.
Yeah.
Like, to them, that's like, oh, we're shaving his head, we're shaving his
Oh,
beard.
no, it's a hair for hair match.
It is weird, though.
It's
I
weird.
feel
That's the thing. They're not good. They're just weird.
Well, it feels like dream violence.
Yeah.
It feels because it's a lot of pinning people down. Because again, I think it sounds like there were several lawyers that were in the inner group of Synanon.
Yeah.
And I think we're advising them in many ways, kind of like in a way of like, if we do this, and this is what we get away with, right?
Yeah.
Like if just pinning somebody to the ground.
Sure,
Adults
shaving
pinning
their
another, it's like, it's very difficult for people to prosecute these things. Like it's very difficult to call it assault, especially if you're in a town where half the police force is the Synanon members that are pinning the guy down on the ground.
Yeah, it seems just juvenile, juvenile enough where they're like, all right, move on. We got bigger crimes to worry about.
Synanon also built its own security force that they called the Imperial Marines.
Yeah.
No, they're not Marines, nor are they Imperial.
No. I don't know where the word imperial came from. I think it's because he's just, again, chucking away. He has his own sense of humor about how he's the godhead of this group.
Yeah.
Okay.
They began running drills in which all residents had to stop what they were doing when they heard the words, "Hey, Rube."
Hey, Rube!
Hey, Rube.
I would love to see them run drills. That would be amazing. In the army now, dude.
Bunch of jazz musicians trying to figure out how to be an army.
They then had to grab anything that could be used as a weapon and come running.
That's my dick, dude.
Yeah.
And like Charles Manson, Dederich became convinced that a race war was coming.
He said, no, he called it a holy war.
A holy war, but it
Oh,
was the subject. Well, the thing is that Synanon was actually integrated at a time when.
So what's the races that are going to be fighting?
The other ones outside of Synanon.
No, it's everyone in Synanon's going to be cool with each other, but outside it's going to be black versus white. It's the same thing. It's helter skelter.
Great.
Yeah, basically.
It's going to work out fantastic.
Yeah. And as such, Synanon members began reacting not only to actual attacks, but to anticipated assaults.
Yeah, he's ramping it up, saying they're coming to get us. It's the same Jim Jones cycle.
Yeah.
You got to have that fear, I guess.
One former member named Phil Ritter was almost beaten to death by two so-called Imperial Marines in his own driveway. His skull was broken and he was in a coma for a week. But that wasn't meant to be a murder. Synanon's next major act of violence, one of the weirdest in cult history, was... See, in 1978, an attorney named Paul Morantz, that Henry has mentioned a couple of times already, he became involved with a case in which a woman with mental health problems was referred to Synanon. Without asking her what she wanted, Synanon whisked her away to a facility hundreds of miles away, shaved her head, and held her there against her will.
Probably didn't want that.
No. All this was illegal. It took 9 days for her husband to find her, and the man who assisted him was Paul Morantz. Now, Paul Morantz caused a lot of trouble for Synanon, especially because his actions triggered charges of kidnapping, wrongful imprisonment, and practicing medicine, without a license.
Those are all crimes he was actively doing.
Yeah, it was. And also, and because she was mentally ill, she wasn't an addict. That's how they got the practicing medicine without a license.
I think Synanon may have caused their own problems. And this guy was just sort of like exposed to maybe.
But therefore, Chuck Dederich began to see Paul Morantz as a mortal threat to everything he'd built.
Uh-oh.
Now, Morantz knew that Dederich was a dangerous man because he'd heard about the severe beatings, and threatening phone calls from Synanon members didn't help matters either. Eventually, Morantz bought a shotgun and started checking his car for bombs every time he got in.
Jeez.
And as it turned out, Morantz's instincts were correct.
Because everyone thought for a while that he was crazy.
Yeah.
They were like, they're just a group of kooks. This is just a thing. There's like a fad or whatever. They're not going to do anything. But he was like, I think these guys are going to kill me.
I mean, the idea of a car bomb, it's unique.
I mean, it happened.
Be like, really? You think they're going to use a car bomb to kill you?
It definitely used to happen way more than it used to. I feel like car bombs were like, I know that car bombs were used a lot in the Italian mafia, in the Troubles and the Nazi, in the Troubles in Ireland. Yeah. There's a lot of car bombs, some good stuff. It is.
You go through the drive-thru at Taco Bell, you got some friends in the car. Next thing you know, you got car bombs.
Now that is old-fashioned humor.
That's good humor. It's a very good humor. I'm going to call you the good humor man.
Yeah, they call me the poopy chalupa.
That's bad.
Yes, indeed.
Well, one night in October of 1977, Morantz said he was just going to go home, sit down, watch the World Series, and not think about Synanon for one goddamn second.
Man, Mr. Morantz, that's a lot of detail. All right, usually just say goodnight.
One goddamn second.
One goddamn second.
But before he could do that, he had to check his mail.
Uh-oh.
Now, he didn't have his glasses on that night, but through the grill of his mailbox, he said he could see the outline of an unusually shaped package.
Oh, look at that. Someone sent my slunkies.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow.
And when he opened the mailbox, he found a 4.5-foot long rattlesnake with the rattle removed.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Well, is it poisonous then still?
Oh, God, yeah. The rattle isn't in the... What?
The rattle's what keeps the snake away from you.
What do you...
The rattle's there to...
I'm sorry, I'm not a fucking snake expert.
This is the least of our troubles. You know what I mean? Well, things that he's gotten incorrect. This is the very least of this.
I got incorrect.
It's fine. Technically, he was correct about the bees last week, so this cancels out.
I'm so usually correct. You can count the things I've got incorrect. The amount of times a clock is broken.
The corn and the poop story. The clocks.
No, you corn and poop. Corn is in poop.
No, your allegorical tale. And then you said a long time ago.
And the clocks actually holds up. I've had people DM me and tell me that was true.
That's because they're just trying to fuck you.
No, man.
They're just trying to have sex with you for some reason.
That's kind of smart. They actually said, I got a DM saying that's kind of smart, actually.
That's kind of smart,
just looking for money. They're just looking for, they're trying to get involved in your life.
Well, the snake immediately struck and bit Morantz on the hand. And Morantz yelled, quote,
"Call the police! Call an ambulance! I've been bitten by a goddamn rattlesnake!
Oh, my God.
It's Synanon! Synanon got me!
Yeah, he's running around his apartment complex screaming, Synanon got me.
Jesus, there's something very symbolic about the snake as well, I suppose.
Oh, yeah, dude. Because to them, he was a little snake in the grass.
Yes, indeed he was.
As it turned out, the rattlesnake had been put in Morantz's mailbox by two Synanon members named Joe Musico and Lance Kenton.
Let's just say you come at half-face with even a little bit and you miss, you might get a little bit of a sniffing, snattling gift in your fucking mailbox.
Sounds like a snake or something?
Yeah, I didn't say it.
Like a snake.
You said that.
Yeah.
Lance Kenton was actually the son of Stan Kenton, famed jazz artist.
All right.
You
say that like anyone on earth knows Stan Kenton.
Fernando, play the tune. He's known for this one, The Peanut Vendor. Okay.
He's very famous. All right.
He's extraordinarily famous, Stan Kenton.
Not extraordinarily famous, but this is a famous song.
I got it. No, it's not. I feel like
All right, okay.
I feel like we're about to swap wives.
Yeah. I feel like I'm Christmas Eve in Puerto Rico.
Okay,
very nice.
All right.
Ugh, from your mouth to God's ears.
Yes, indeed.
But as far as Stan Kenton's son went, it's arguable that the rattlesnake in the mailbox prank that killed Stan, because he died 2 years later, probably of a broken heart.
Oh. Because, once you break a jazz musician's heart, it's hard to put back together.
It never goes back together. Absolutely not.
This, though, was on Stan, because his son had been a lifelong Synanon member who'd lived in one of their compounds since he was 10 years old.
So Stan sent him there because he didn't want him to interfere with his music career. Interesting indeed. Also, it's
No,
very,
you're just saying that.
It's upbeat.
Jazz is sometimes about the sons you don't raise.
Absolutely. Yeah, you can't be a jazz musician and a father.
No.
Ugh, yuck.
Well, both Lance Kenton and Joe were picked up after the getaway vehicle was traced back to Synanon because they actually waited to make sure that the rattlesnake got him.
They are so stupid.
And then when they saw, they're like, "Oh, got him!" Then they of course sped away, and someone's like, "Okay, this guy's screaming about a rattlesnake. Those guys are peeling out."
They brought the rattlesnake.
Oh my!
That's the rattlesnake's driver.
So stupid.
And based on the tapes attained from a raid in which Dederich said that anyone could get, quote, killed dead, physically dead for messing with Synanon, Chuck was arrested too. But luckily for them, Pomerantz, he got the anti-venom in time.
Good.
But he is still affected by the snake bite.
No, it fucked him up. It fucks your. He was
still alive?
Yeah, you can get anti-venom for
No, I'm saying he is alive in real life?
As of the article that I read like 2 years ago, yeah, he was still alive 2 years ago.
No shit.
He died this October 23rd, 2022.
Wow.
Really? Wow.
Interesting. Yeah, he that's what he said.
The
is
snake finally got him.
Well, that's what he said. It was the longest murder in history.
Wow.
Because this rattlesnake bite, it's kind of like think of Jim Brady.
Yeah, it fucks with you.
Yeah. Now, when the police found Chuck Dederich, he had long since tossed away his sobriety. He was arrested in his $1 million Lake Havasu compound, staring straight ahead in a stupor with an empty bottle of Chivas Regal in front of him. He was so drunk, in fact, and 300 pounds to boot, that he had to be carried out of his compound on a stretcher.
Man,
that is the cult leader's way to go.
That's the only way I want to go, dude. Having to be physically removed from my compound.
Yeah. I'm too drunk to arrest. I'm too drunk to arrest.
I'm too drunk to be arrested, sir. Officer.
Now, Dederich was able to dodge most of the blame. Actually, he did kind of use the I'm too drunk to go to jail excuse.
Yeah.
He was able to dodge most of the blame because by the time the cops got to him, he'd had a stroke from being so fat, and he was suffering complications from drinking 2 quarts of Chivas Regal a day.
So he's back to being an alcoholic. He has half a face, and now he's 300 pounds and suffered a stroke.
Yes.
Yep.
Why is he God again?
hey, because sometimes God's got to fucking relax.
Yeah.
Okay?
But as far as Synanon went, it very quickly found itself in the wrong climate to be a crazy, potentially murderous, bald-headed cult. 5 weeks after the rattlesnake incident, Jonestown. And Synanon had direct ties to People's Temple.
Yikes.
Synanon had donated supplies to Jim Jones multiple times over the years.
Man, their sneaker collab was also out of control, dog.
Yeah, that's like donating the E. coli-filled beef to Bob's Big Boy.
Mm-hmm.
Was it Bob's Big Boy that had the E. coli? Jack in the Box.
Jack in the box. Yeah, don't
Boom.
malign Bob's Big Boy.
I'm sorry. I took
Yeah.
it back. It was
Bob-
Jack that did it.
In the late 70s, Synanon members had played the game with members of People's Temple, where some very real feelings about Jim Jones were unloaded.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, shit.
And then some of them, they then got for Synanon.
Yeah.
He brought him into their cult.
Yeah.
Synanon's still better than Jonestown.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, actually, one of the women who survived the Jonestown massacre by virtue of being at their Georgetown base when the shit went down, same place where George Jones's son was, or George Jones.
Yeah, that's old. That never went to AA, nor was he. Synanon may have helped George Jones.
It might have.
Yeah, Jim Jones, when all the shit went down with him, she was out in Georgetown. She participated in a Synanon game that was focused on Jonestown about a year after the massacre. Then she joined Synanon.
Yeah.
One cult to another. Was only non-cult for 1 year.
I mean, I guess it's like slightly. I don't know.
New
It's like
cult,
stopping
new vibes.
McDonald's and only eating Subway because it's kind of healthier.
That's the
I
idea.
guess.
Oh, yeah. That's when they started putting apple slices at McDonald's.
No, that worked out great.
Now, while the 2 guys who put the rattlesnake in the mailbox got off relatively light with only 1 year in prison for conspiracy to commit murder, they both pled no contest.
Sure.
Synanon never recovered, and they lost more members every year. After the rattlesnake incident, they lost 500 members. And by 1984, they were down to only 550 members, which was a precipitous drop from the almost 4,000 they had just 13 years earlier.
Yeah, he's going in the wrong direction.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
Then, in 1987, there came what was eventually known as Rape Weekend.
man.
Although nobody was raped during Rape Weekend. Nobody was raped.
I don't want to see the people that were disappointed.
Yeah, why is it called
Listeners
that?
who was disappointed, yes.
Yes, why is it called that then?
Well, 2 weeks prior to this weekend, Dederich began showing major cracks during media interviews.
Yeah, he started getting real loose-lipped.
He invited various news outlets to talk, but when they showed up, Dederich gave the interview shirtless with a half-empty bottle of vodka in his hand.
Soon.
Oh, man, this is what happened. This is what happened with Dennis Rodman when we went to North Korea.
Mm-hmm. Interestingly, Dederich proclaimed that Oliver North was a hero. Second time we've mentioned Oliver North in this series.
This is
like Oliver North involved.
You start to wonder why conspiracy theories like really just start to shoot fucking everywhere. When shit like all of these things are all on top of each other. They all know each other. They're all touching.
They don't know. They don't know each other.
But
Do know that is conspiracy thought. Like they say they know each other. No,
but it does tangentially tie to the Iran-Contra.
That's what I'm saying.
Somewhat.
It adds to the
coincidence.
Yeah.
This is where you start.
It just adds to the mess. It adds to the smoke and to the fucking
Because Dederich like drunkenly mentioned Oliver North in an interview once.
I'll tell you what, because Oliver North's fun. Have you ever met his fucking cousin Oliver South? He'll suck your fucking dick.
You are so stupid. I'm not even allowing it. It's struck from the record.
Yeah, well, Dederich proclaimed that Oliver North was a hero and he should run for president. And this is like in the middle of the Iran-Contra testimony.
It's a business deal. It's a business deal. It's a proprietary business deal.
But doesn't it show, conspiracy does show we are all connected.
Yeah.
That's really
in
all
its
it
way.
is.
It's Fern Gully, but for people that are alone in their homes.
Yeah.
Well, Dederich drunkenly said that all of Synanon would vote for North because, and this is a direct quote, I want you to direct quote this one.
They do what I tell them. Most of them don't even know why I do anything.
Yeah, but I mean, it's still like, what is it, like 2,000
They
votes?
do what I tell them to do. Most of them don't even know
I mean,
why I
Ross
do anything.
Perot got like 19 million votes. He didn't even get one electoral college.
You tell me five
votes.
things about Ross Perot, and the only thing I'm going to tell you is big ear dickhead.
Those are the first two things I was going to say.
Well, 2 weeks after that, speaking into an intercom at one of his compounds, Dederich went on a tirade because he couldn't find his glasses.
Oh my God.
Someone had just moved him. They cleaned his desk and they moved his glasses, but he became convinced that someone had stolen them. And he announced that, quote, theft was similar in nature to rape.
My glasses.
Taking his glasses was definitely close to rape.
Yeah.
Oh
He then
my
set
God.
off the sirens to call all Synanon members to a general meeting. And he spent the weekend comparing his lost glasses to being raped during a series of lectures.
God, that's a
Jesus
fucking long game
criminal.
of whose line is it anyway? Like, it is just a
Absolutely.
long weekend.
Wow.
God, I mean, even a day of that. Can you imagine going to sleep and thinking, oh, thank God that's over. And then you wake up and he starts it back
There's
again.
another damn thing about why my glasses
Yeah.
got raped. Did I say my glasses got raped? Everybody get closer. Where's my belt?
Yeah, this is, I mean, I can't even handle Bonnaroo.
Yeah. He then made
that's-
an appeal for everyone to go get naked and do
Why?
a game session in the pool.
Hey,
'Cause
man.
Let's
But why?
everyone get groovy. Let's go to a game session. In the pool.
I mean, that sounds kind of fun, but it's totally not what we were talking about.
Yeah, it's true. And if you're trying to set up like a fun pool weekend, maybe it shouldn't be called the rape weekend. Maybe it should just be called like, hey, do we want to have a pool party? Not this like
Pool party
long
weekend.
like weekend, 72 hours of comparing all of this.
My
your
glasses.
glasses to
Yeah.
sexual assault.
Yeah. But by that time, nobody was listening to Chuck Dederich.
He lost. He's gone.
He's after Rape Weekend, as it came to be known. They refer to it as Rape Weekend afterwards.
Yeah.
Okay. More than half of Synanon left.
Yeah, they're like,
yeah. It was
God.
it was because up till that point they could still kind of say like, okay, he's got some good ideas, but then after spending a weekend of him comparing lost
Hammered.
glasses to something so fucking awful, hammered the entire time. Yes,
yeah.
they're like, okay. I'm out. I'm getting out of here. I don't care. I'll go back to the fucking streets. I can't listen to this shit anymore.
Yeah.
I
Like-
literally go back to the street.
Yeah.
Why not?
290 people were left out
That's
of
it.
2,000.
This guy sucks as a cult leader.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. What finally killed Synanon, though, the IRS.
Ooh, they always get their man, don't they,
Yeah.
man?
I guess so.
Synanon had lost their religious status, and by 1989, they owed $17 million in back taxes.
Wow, dude.
Yeah.
That is just
That's a
America,
lot.
man.
That's like one of those numbers you look at and you just
Like,
laugh.
okay, sure,
You're
all
like,
right.
"Ha, ha, ha."
$17 million. Let me call my accountant who's a leprechaun. And then he'll call my guarantor who's a fucking unicorn.
Yeah, I will get right on that.
They declared bankruptcy, and Synanon officially dissolved.
Oh.
But Synanon's legacy remains. While the game went out of vogue with adults, plenty of people in the troubled teen community took it and ran with it in all the wrong ways, particularly the Elon schools. So, who would take a relatively benign concept like the game and turn it into a punishment? What kind of person is so sadistic that they would take something obviously meant for adults and skew it into something to be used on kids in the most brutal ways possible? The answer is Joe Ritchie, the founder of Elon School.
Oh.
He'll be our focus for the conclusion to our series on the troubled teen industry, although he'll certainly share the bill with Elon School's most famous alumnus, convicted murderer Michael Skakel.
It is. This whole story has been both. This is kind of the more funny section of a very intense, sad topic. And so next week, it's again, we're going to get into Joseph Ritchie's life. I want to say thank you to everybody who sent me emails.
Yeah.
There are so many people that have been a part of these programs that are still going. As you just see, did you see the Agape? That place, the school?
This week?
It just closed.
Really?
It literally, I want to say 2 days ago, they just voluntarily closed their doors. The Agape boarding school in Missouri.
We did it again, boys.
It is really
caused
weird.
Another disgusting cult to close down. Well, thank you all so much for listening.
Seriously, and there are many other shows that have covered things from people that have had these experiences. There's the Sunshine Place, which talks to a lot of people that experienced this. That Synanon story, a lot of those kids, that podcast people had developed, were in these systems. Mm-hmm. And so it's just everywhere. But next week we're getting into Joseph Ritchie territory, which is it's weirdly Chuck Dederich, but without the charisma.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
But people still we'll get to it. There's a hero worship about him in a way.
It's a weird, very
Same
weird
thing. Kind of.
It's a hero worship amongst fucking sociopathic morons.
Yes.
That's the people that were really drawn to Joe Ritchie. But yeah, he's a unique piece of shit. I'll say that.
Indeed. All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much for listening. Let's see. Do we want to talk about the Release the Butthole Cut tour?
You want to come out and see Release the Butthole Cut tour? Wizard and Bruiser on page 7, but taking their entertainment wares across this country of ours. And we're getting out there with their tap dancing for your dollars. You
Literally dancing.
You
they dance more than us, and they sing more than us.
They do.
Yeah.
Yes. So go check them out. They are in San Francisco at the Independent this Friday, January 13th. Go check them out. And then this Sunday, January 15th, at Los Angeles at the Bourbon Room. And a couple of us will be there to yell at you as well.
Yes. Don't expect me.
No, he's gonna be betting on his games.
Don't expect me. All right. Well, thank you all so much for listening. Do we have anything else, boys? Thanks for supporting all the shows. We got our serious shows, which are going so great. Open Lines and Hail Yourself. Thanks for everyone who's calling in.
Last Comic Book on the Left is coming soon.
Yeah.
Issue number 2. We got some great stuff coming up for issue number 3 as well.
Yes, we do. And then eventually we will tell you where you can purchase our new comic book that we're writing for Dark Horse called Operation Sunshine. So we'll let you know when that is coming out. But yeah.
All right, everyone. Thank you for listening. Hail yourselves.
Hail Satan. Again.
Constellations.
And always remember,
Today is the first day and the rest of your life.
I can't believe an alcoholic cult leader coined that phrase.
Right? Isn't that incredible?
Nothing is sacred.
No.
Nothing is right.
Nope.
This show is made possible by listeners like you. Thanks to our ad sponsors, you can support our shows by supporting them. For more shows like the one you just listened to, go to lastpodcastnetwork.com.
Courage. I learned it from my adoptive mom. Hold my hand.
You hold my hand.
Learn about adopting a teen from foster care at adoptuskids.org. You can't imagine the reward. Brought to you by Adopt US Kids, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, and the Ad Council.